You think it was Audacity that was screwing up the stream?
What?
You think it was Audacity that was screwing up the stream?
Possibly.
2 minutes.
Interesting.
I wish his mic. Yo, I wish he had a mic that only went not on air.
So an IFB?
Yeah, I wish we had an IFB.
That's
Why?
So that you could talk to me instead of yelling like out loud. Like you could just be like 10 seconds, like in a regular voice.
I wouldn't need this notebook if I had that.
Yeah, that too. You'd be like, all right, read the read now or whatever, you know.
Speaking of which,
90 seconds.
Wait, there is a way, isn't there? No,
we
there's
need
not.
to get a talkback system.
I sure hope this game starts in 30 minutes. Because it's not looking like it right now.
Why?
Why? What makes you think that?
I don't know. It's still doing warm-ups.
Because there was no batting practice.
By the way, here's your strikeout ad.
Shit. We are brought to you. Oh no. This strikeout is brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Is that right?
Yeah. Exactly right.
1 more minute.
This should it say this Gateman strikeout or just this strikeout?
It's always for a
It's
Gatemen.
only
Only for
for
Gatemen strikeout.
All right,
If we get a
pinch me every time I need to say it. Okay.
Yeah. If we get a lot of strikeouts, I'm gonna say something hilarious.
Oh, I want to do. that was my plan too. What?
Or literally, here's what you do: is you literally just go like this, like without making the noise.
Or just pinch me.
go.
We are off to the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Eastern Propane, the official sponsor of the 7th inning stretch here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
I have to rewrite that ad apparently.
Our GM Andy Lang is gonna see a big spike in
thank you.
business
I actually already have the
after this
umpires.
game.
Thank you.
Make
Our
sure they're
GM
right.
Andy Lang will be seeing a big spike in business after this game with
Mark-
10 strikeouts today.
Mark Piandotozzi is the home plate. That's if you can't read it.
20 seconds.
Mark Piandotozzi.
Yeah, we're good for like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Auditobi? What? No, it's
Auditory.
Altador. I thought it was Altador.
Auditory.
Oh, I was gonna.
Oh, I see. Auditory. He's spelling it out.
Frank Auditory or Rick Delvicchio. Rick Delvicchio.
Auditory.
4.
Oh, cut our mics. Yo, cut our mics.
The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Last summer, the Wareham Gatemen had one of their most successful seasons in franchise history.
Skied out to left field. This ball is way back. See you later. Colton Shaver.
Doing pitch. That is rocketed out to right field. Back goes the right fielder. That one's gone. An absolute bomb to right field for Gavin Sheets.
Hey, swung on and hit out towards center field. Bartosik on the move. Kind of got turned around. He's at the wall. Scaling the wall. He reaches up and makes the catch.
But despite their regular season success, the 2016 Gatemen were sent packing after the first round of the CCBL playoffs.
Is this ball fair? It is! Rome comes in to score the game's tying run. McKinnon comes in as well. Bourne has walked off, and Wareham's season is over.
Now, a new season and a fresh start in Wareham. College baseball's finest are coming from all over the country in pursuit of the Gatemen's 8th Cape Cod Baseball League Championship.
Through the infield, coming around to score is Topa. Play at the plate, and Metz is safe too. It's a 2 RBI single for Brandon Lockridge, the leadoff man.
Swung on and cranked out to left center field, chasing it down. This one's gone. Willie McIver has tied the game at 3 here in the 5th inning.
Chopped in the infield. Coming over is Pullitz. He doesn't handle the baseball. The run scores. The Gatemen win their 3rd consecutive home opener. 4-3. What an ending.
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and you're listening to it live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Just a 4-minute drive to Breakwater Beach on the inlet of Cape Cod Bay. Welcome out to Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. It's a beautiful summer day here on the Cape, and there's nothing better than a baseball game. It's the Wareham Gatemen taking on the Brewster Whitecaps here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside Sam Corman, I'm Jacob Toby. We will send you into Gatemen Pregame Live with Matt Wieselthayer in just a moment. The 4th member of our broadcast team, Matt Feld, will join us in a little as well. And Sam, we finally saw the bats come alive for the Gatemen in yesterday's win versus Hyannis. Who impressed you the most, and how can the Gatemen carry this momentum into the game today?
Well, yesterday's player of the game was the cleanup hitter, Luke Bonfield, who hit that 3-run blast to left field. But I'm going to go with another guy, Jake Anchia,
finally got the bat going yesterday, as the catcher was 2 for 16 going into that game in Hyannis last night. But he had a great game, went 2 for 2 with a walk as well. Also was hit by a pitch twice in that game, so he was up 5 times and reached base in all 5 at-bats. That 3-run blast in the 5th was more impressively opposite field, showing off some of that power that he had at Nova Southeastern D2 school this season. Hit 17 home runs for that school, and we need to see more of that from Jake Anchia. He doubled his hit total in last night's game.
Jaron Duran made his season debut yesterday. What did you see out of the Long Beach State product?
Well, Jaron Duran's going to supply so much for this top of the Wareham order. We assume that he'll be hitting leadoff for most of this season as long as he's here. He got a hit, also came around to score, stole a base, and that stolen base was actually huge because one of the next pitches, Duran came around from second and scored on a single. So he beat out a regular ground out to shortstop yesterday, and it just displayed how fast he is. There's so many fast guys on this Wareham roster, but I feel like if they raced Jaron Duran, he would be blowing them out of the water. He just supplies so much. He could probably bunt for a hit too. We didn't see that yesterday, but he probably has that ability as well coming out of Long Beach State.
The bottom 2 spots in the lineup have gone a combined 0 for 14 the past 2 games for the Gatemen. Robbie Metz and Ben Baird in the loss for Orleans, then Nick Angelini and Ben Baird in the win yesterday. It's today Metz and Baird in the lineup. In between them hitting 8th is Tanner Dodson. How will Dodson change the last third of the lineup?
Yeah, the bottom of the order yesterday wasn't too bad, as the entire Gatemen lineup was pretty impressive. Andy Shadid had 2 hits, also a stolen base, and Nick Angelini reached base 3 times with 2 walks. However, adding Dodson to this lineup adds some more speed to the bottom of the lineup, adds that great arm out there in center field as well, and just gets another bat into the lineup that hasn't really seen much time so far this year. Dodson's 3 for 10 coming into today's game, and we'll hope that the bottom of the lineup can get some more offense than it has previously in this season.
All right, first pitch is set for 5 p.m. Make sure to stay on the network as we now send you into Gatemen Pregame Live with Matt Weasel Thayer here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Matt?
Thank you so much, Jacob. And like he said, you're listening to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. A beautiful day for baseball here in Brewster. The first pitch is at 5 o'clock. It's supposed to be 76 degrees, and you can barely see a cloud in the sky. However, you have to wonder about those clouds because you have to wonder about the sun. Sunset is at 8:19 tonight. The reason that's important, Brewster plays at a field with no lights. So as soon as this place gets too dark to play, game is over. Stony Brook Field, absolutely beautiful most days, but right now they're having a little bit of trouble with the field conditions because one of the groundskeepers left the sprinklers on, and guess what? The field wasn't ready for batting practice. They're working on the field right now to make sure everything's okay, but when this game gets started, the pitching matchup is going to be great. For the Wareham Gatemen, it's Justin Hagenman, the Penn State junior from New Jersey. The righty, 6'3", 195 pounds, and he had an okay first appearance. Sorry, not a good first appearance for Wareham, in the Chatham doubleheader. He threw 1 in the 3rd innings, giving up 5 earned runs on 5 hits. Picked up the loss in the game and had only 2 strikeouts. No walks for him, though, so that was good. In a Wareham Gatemen lineup that's trying to throw the first strike. At Penn State, the struggles continue for him, though, this season. A 5.49 ERA, 1-11 record in 14 starts, though he was able to hit the strike zone. 75 strikeouts to 25 walks, but hitters did bat well against him. 3.08 average for opposing batters. He's going up against Brewster's J.R. McDermott, the Colorado Mesa University sophomore Division II baseball. The righty, 6'0" at 195 pounds. A little bit shorter than pitchers we've seen the Wareham Gatemen play, but he has been phenomenal. His first appearance came last Thursday for Brewster, where he started against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Through 5 scoreless innings, only allowing 3 hits with 4 strikeouts in the win. This season at Colorado Mesa, he was phenomenal. He pitched in 16 games, started 14 of them, at a 3.12 ERA with a 9-1 record and 1 complete game. And he was hitting the strike zone as well. 108 strikeouts to 32 walks. Opponents batted only .219 against him, and he had 4 pickoff attempts this season. Now, earlier today, our Matt Feld, the sideline reporter and our beat writer, was able to catch up with pitching coach for Wareham Gatemen, Jim Lawler.
Coach, it seemed that yesterday and a couple of times last year, I remember you guys seemed to kind of point out situations where you guys can kind of implement an effective pickoff play. How much time do you spend with the pitchers specifically on working on that stuff?
Well, the more they stay this summer, the more we work on it. Right now, it's still more of an evaluation, get the guys on the mound, but We talk about it. We do flat ground work a little bit. The pre-practice is when we get the things done.
With regards to the pitch counts, do the kids know going into the game, you know, if you're at 50 pitches after 5 innings, you could be throwing a perfect game, but it's time to come out?
Yeah, we're at 60 pitch max. If a guy's at 50-something and ends up at 65, but that we're going to cut him off and go to the next guy. And what it does, it forces him to use 3 guys a game. And that's what this development's all about. What is he doing that I can help fit him? Because, you know, bottom line, I don't know what I'm going to say to the pitcher until I see him move. When I see him move, then I'm going to make my adjustment and try to individually tell him how to fix it.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
You're good. I can handle it.
After a big walk-off win in the home opener against Falmouth, the Wareham Gatemen fell into a bit of a slump. Thanks to a doubleheader on Sunday, the Gatemen lost 4 games in 3 days. Now visiting the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the 2nd time this season, Wareham needed a breakout win. On the first day of summer, the offense would start early for the Gatemen. Blake Sable, the game's 2nd batter, launched the ball over the shallow right field fence. The game then got a little quiet until the 5th inning when Wareham would strike again.
A 3-2 pitch coming to Willie McIver. Swung on it, driven into the gap, and cut off as Durant's going to round third. He's going to score easily from second. It's 2-0 Wareham on another RBI from Willie McIver. He's on first with a single.
A few batters later, the scoreboard would be lit up again.
Big leg kick from Connor Green, blown out to right field and deep. This one is over the fence, a 3-run shot for Jake Anchia, and the Gatemen have taken a 5-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Anchia hit 17 home runs for Nova Southeastern this year. We were waiting to see that power from him. The 2nd time a Gateman goes yard today, and they're piling it on here in Hyannis.
An inning later, and the Gatemen would again get on the board thanks to the long ball.
0-1 count on Luke Bonfield, who swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees. Luke Bonfield with a 3-run blast to left, and the game is 8-0 Wareham on the 3rd home run of the night.
Wareham couldn't stop scoring runs in this one in every fashion. Base hits, home runs, and sacrificing it out for tallies on the scoreboard.
Constant with that weird delivery. Flown out to deep right field. And that one is caught at the track by Newstrom on the run. Tagging is Sable. He will score 9-0 Wareham on a sacrifice fly from John Topa. Advancing to 3rd on the play is William McIver.
This wasn't a completely one-sided affair as Hyannis tried to make a late inning comeback.
The righty on righty swung and lined into the gap in right center, rounding 3rd and heading for home. And scoring is going to be Olenek. So it's 10-2 here in the 9th after 2 consecutive hits from this Harbor Hawks bottom of the order. 2 pinch hitters earlier in this game. Olenek followed by Jalila. So Jalila gets an RBI here.
However, it was too little too late as the Gatemen already built a mountain too high to climb on their way to getting back in the win column.
On the inside corner, called strike 3, and the Gatemen win this one 10-2 here in Hyannis. Frank German closed the door. Not going to get the save because it was a 9-run game when the inning started. But either way, the Gatemen improved to 3-5 here in Hyannis on this Wednesday night. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks dropped to 3-1 on the season.
And a phenomenal job by our Sam Corman, who's now on the color call today. Jacob Tovey going to be giving you the play-by-play. We're going to take you around the Cape really quickly. You already just heard Wareham defeated Hyannis 10-2 last night. Also games last night, well, Wareham was the only team in the West Division to win. Falmouth visited Brewster right here where we are right now. They lost 7-4. Katuitt hosted Harwich. They fell 6-3. YD, the defending champs, beat Chatham at home 11-8. And Orleans visited Bourne and shut out Bourne. The Firebirds won 4-0. Tonight's games are as follows. Wareham taking on Brewster, as we're previewing right now. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. The other start at 5 o'clock is YD hosting Katuitt. That's also at 5. At 6 o'clock, it's Harwich at Bourne. Also, Hyannis at Falmouth. And finally, at 7 o'clock, it's Chatham at Orleans. When we come back, more of the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health. Keep it locked here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information. Welcome back to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. I'm Matthew Weasel there. Here are your Chatham Bars Inn starting lineups for the Wareham Gatemen visiting Brewster today at beautiful Stony Brook Field. They lead off with number 10, Jaron Duran at second, who had 1 for 6 last night. Beautiful day for him on his opening day to get a nice win. Blake Sable follows him in the lineup at first base. Then the 3-hitter is behind the plate, Willie McIver, who's been phenomenal so far for the Gatemen, a .433 batting average. In right field, it's the cleanup hitter, Luke Bonfield, after a 4 for 5 day that included a home run at Hyannis. John Topa then is in the 5-hole in left field, followed by Jake Anchia, the designated hitter. In the 7-hole, Robbie Metz at third base. Batting 8th, Tanner Dotson in center field, and batting 9th at shortstop, Ben Baird, as they take on J.R. McDermott, the pitcher for Brewster. Pitching for Wareham is Justin Hageman. He'll be going up against the Brewster lineup that goes as follows. Leading off is A.J. Graffanino, the shortstop. He's a returner from last year for Brewster, and this year batting over 400 so far. Behind him at batting second is Kyle Datris. Yeah, he's playing third base. At catcher, Michael Gasper. He's batting third. In the cleanup spot, the second baseman, Nick Dunn. And behind him, the designated hitter, Michael Curry. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Chandler Taylor. Batting seventh, Marty Cass. He's playing right field. In left field, Cesar Trejo. And rounding up the order is Hunter Bishop in center field. Now, a player that isn't in the lineup today, but going to start being in it tomorrow, was Kyle Kasser, and our sideline reporter Matt Fell was able to catch up with him earlier today.
Out of Oregon, first day here on the Cape, and is expected to be activated tomorrow for the Gatemen. Kyle, welcome, and what are you kind of expecting this summer while playing for the Gatemen?
I'm just excited to meet some new friends and play baseball and just get better, playing in some of the best competition there is, and just trying to get better every day, and so I can bring that back to my school with me and hopefully do better next year.
You had a great season, hit over 350 for the Ducks. What makes you so successful at the plate in particular?
I think I got better at hitting left-handed pitching this year. I really struggled with that my sophomore year and really focused on that last summer and got better at that. Just trying to keep my approach simple and not trying to do too much up there, because just knowing who I am as a player, I'm not going to hit a whole lot of home runs and stuff. Just staying within myself and hitting line drives and just hitting the ball on the ground and just playing baseball the way I know how to play.
That's Kyle Kasser. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Matt. Kyle Kasser expected to be in the lineup tomorrow. We'd like to remind you that the Gatemen Baseball Network can be contacted at any time by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments or praise or whatever, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're also keeping up with us at 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. I'm now joined by our sideline reporter, Matt Feld, who apparently quickly ran from the interview. I'm kidding. You did that a little bit earlier. Yes. But, Matt, how are you doing today on this beautiful day?
I'm great. You know, one of the great things about these fields is the very clear and elaborate PA announcer, who is always just right on point, and we can hear him around us as we go through this interview.
Yeah, it's a beautiful voice for him. And something that's been beautiful for the Wareham Gatemen has been the starting pitching the past few days. Struggled a little bit against Chatham in the doubleheader, but really was clicked for them in the past few days.
Yeah, you know, I think that those two outings against Chatham, you know, over these last couple of days, over these first couple of weeks, the Gatemen are still trying to get a feel for who their starting pitchers are and who their closers are. And it's clearly emerged. Joey Machulovich, Justin Glover, yesterday Frankie Bartow. They kind of create a nice 1-2-3, so to speak. They all have great fastball command that goes with a changeup and a curveball. They're efficient. They're not overly powering, so they're not going to accumulate 10, 11, 12 strikeouts. But in turn with that, they keep their pitch count down and they're able to go a lot of innings, 4, 5, 6 innings, and shorten the game for the Gatemen bullpen.
Now, one thing that's really nice for your pitching is when your offense is really good. Yesterday, explosion for 10 runs. Let's first go through the home runs right there. How big is it for this team to get 3 home runs, despite being a little bit of a small ball club?
Yeah, Don said after the game that they finally had gotten the long ball that they were looking for. And this team is a bit of a small ball club. They'll bunt with just about anyone. They like to hit and run. And it's really important that at the top, Jaron Duran and guys at the bottom like Robbie Metz and Ben Baird get on base to set up that middle of the order. And it was great to see Luke Bonfield, who had come into the game 0 on the season and into some tough luck, to finally cash in 4 for 5, a 3-run home run, 2 runs scored. Andy Shadid's been big all season, and Chia behind the dish has also provided some offensive firepower. And when those guys, to go with an already red-hot Willie McIver, can not only hit, but hit for extra bases, this Gatemen lineup with speed at the top, speed at the bottom, becomes much more potent.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the players starting to come in that are really good. How big is that for this team? I mean, you're looking at Duran and Bonfield, who have come in the past few days. They're starting to hit now. And obviously you have a few more players coming in. How important is that for this team?
Yeah, this team is pretty much, you know, here for the most part. Tristan Pompey will arrive tomorrow and is expected to be in the designated hitter spot in tomorrow night's lineup. Kyle Kasser, who's here, has not been activated yet, but he will be active for tomorrow. And I think, you know, outside of Brett Canine, who's expected to arrive at next week, and of course the Gatemen still have a couple players in Oregon State playing in the College World Series, this is pretty much the team that they're going to have until the end of the year. Stephen Kwan, combined with Jaron Duran, down the road will be quite a 1-2 in terms of speed, contact, guys that you can steal, bunt, hit and run and hit, suicide squeeze, and then that sets them up for a middle of the order that will have Tristan Pompey and Luke Bonfield, Andy Shadid if he continues to perform like he has, and all of a sudden now you really have a really solid 1-9 after for a week or so the Gatemen were struggling to produce runs and find some firepower.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Firepower on that interview. When we come back, it's Jacob Toby and Sam Corbin taking you up to first pitch. We're about 10 minutes away, right here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
You want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome out to Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. It's the Wareham Gatemen sitting at 3-5. They find themselves tied for the last playoff spot in the Western Division with the Falmouth Commodores, who are also 3-5. The Brewster Whitecaps are 3-2-1. They are second in the Eastern Division behind the 4-1-1 YD Red Sox. And we're just waiting for national anthem as the three umpires are gathered at home plate. We are on the first base line. Got a good spot behind home plate.
Absolutely, and I noticed that yesterday's game in Hyannis, we have pretty much a hitter's ballpark again here today. 315 down the left field line, about the same down the right field line, just 385 in center field, so a lot less than the dreadful about 415 out there in Wareham. So a bit of a hitter's ballpark. We'll take it to the anthem.
And now we present the national anthem of the United States of America.
The Brewster resident and a member of the music program at Nauset Regional High School. Anytime you want, Madison.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Madison Mayor. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a couple of first pitches.
And that's how you sing a national anthem. Nice job there from the young lady. Jacob Toby.
That was gorgeous.
Jacob Toby alongside Sam Coleman. Again, we were at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. And it's just a great day for a baseball game. We got Matt Weasel there on hand, Matt Feld on hand, the two Matts. And it's just a fun day for baseball. They're throwing out the first pitch right now. And let's go over the starting lineups. We're going to first go over the Wareham Gatemen. Jaron Duran is leading it off. He's at second base. Blake Sable is the first baseman. He bats second. Willie McIver is the catcher. He bats third. Luke Bonfield in right field. He bats fourth. John Topa in left field, he bats fifth. Jake Anchia, the DH today, bats sixth. Robbie Metz at third base, he bats seventh. Tanner Dodson gets the start in center field. He bats eighth. Ben Baird is the shortstop, and he bats ninth. And now we take a look at the defense for the Brewster Whitecaps. It is Kyle Detras at third base, AJ Graffinito, the shortstop, Nick Dunn at second, and Chandler Taylor at first. We're going to talk about him a lot in the coming hours. Cesar Trejo in left field, Hunter Bishop, the center fielder, Marty Costas in right field, and the catcher, Mickey Gasper, is catching for J.P. McDermott.
Yeah, J.D. McDermott's been pretty impressive. He had one start earlier this season, went 5 innings, did not give up any runs and struck out 4, did not walk any batter. Has a 4-pitch combo to look for, a 4-seamer, slider, curveball, and a change. The slider and the curve you'll see versus the righty batters more often. And the curveball and the change you'll see versus the lefties more often. And really good at changing speed. Doesn't have blow-away stuff. That's why he's a D2 pitcher. But because of that, that's why he has that 4-pitch combo. And it could show some trouble for the Wareham batters in this game, as you don't often see pitchers with 4 pitches at this level.
Wareham again, they are 3-5, tied with Falmouth for the last spot in the Western Division standings. Wareham coming off that Hyannis win, they won 10-2. The offense explodes. Luke Bonfield, 4 for 5 with a 3-run bomb. Jake Anchia, 3-run home run. Blake Sable, his first home run of the season. It was a solo shot in the first inning. And the Brewster Whitecaps are 3-2-1. Coming off a 7-4 win versus Falmouth. Brewster has a +11 run differential. Now here comes Jaron Duran to the plate. He's 1 for 6 on the season with a strikeout. That's what he was yesterday in his season debut versus the Harbor Hawks. He bats from the left side. He's going to face McDermott here. McDermott slings the first pitch. Going for bunt was Duran. It was a ball outside, and we are underway.
Did you notice that windup from McDermott there on the first pitch? It was very odd.
Yes.
A little bit of a first motion, then a second motion towards the plate.
McDermott looking on to get the signs from his catcher, Gasper. High leg kick, pauses for a moment, and blows it right by Duran. A fastball, no balls and 2 strikes.
Very methodical. He kind of kicks his leg and then brings it back down before he goes towards the plate.
It takes about a 1-second pause.
Yeah. It's almost like he loses all his momentum, but probably not.
The 0-2 pitch from McDermott to Duran is in the dirt. It was a breaking ball. A 1 ball and 2 strikes. McDermott out of Colorado Mesa University. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 185 pounds rather. Here comes the 1-2. And swung on and missed. Into the mitt. He fouled it off, and Duran strikes out for the first out of the inning. No score, top of the first, and one gone. That'll bring up Blake Sable, batting .280 on the year. Had that home run yesterday, a solo shot in the first inning versus Hyannis. Also got 4 RBIs on the season as well, and it was good to see him get going in the first inning yesterday.
Yeah, Blake Sable, a few games after I got to a red-hot start, but then a few games he kind of fell off a little bit, but that home run really got it going for Wareham yesterday.
McDermott's first pitch at the at-bat, zips in for a strike.
It really set the tone. McIver and Bonfield followed that home run yesterday with 2 singles. They couldn't get him to score, but all game the Gatemen were getting runners on, and Sable definitely set the tone for that.
McDermott's 0-1, taken for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Home plate umpire tonight, Mark Piantadosi. At first base, Frank Altitori, and at third, Rick Del Vecchio.
Some long last names there in the umpiring crew today.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch from McDermott to Sable, just missing inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, 1 out in the top of the first between the Wareham Gatemen and the Brewster Whitecaps. No score at Stony Brook Field.
It's a pretty tough angle for looking at outside and inside pitches here from the first base side.
2-1 pitch is popped up and sent foul behind home plate and out of play. Little kids will go chasing after. That's one of my favorite things about the Cape League. Got little kids going everywhere for the foul balls.
Absolutely, there's swarms of them.
They will fight for that, I'll tell you that much. They will push each other to get that foul ball. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, no score, top of the first. McDermott shaking off his catcher Gasper, and time called at the plate from the left-hander Blake Sable. Sable now ready in the box. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from McDermott, and Sable fouls it off to the left and out of play. William McIver, the catcher today, waiting on deck for Wareham. Last season versus Brewster, the Gatemen went 3-1. Here comes the 2-2 from McDermott. Fouled straight back to the screen, and we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Blake Sable, a big at-bat here. We mentioned yesterday how important it was for the Gatemen to get off to a good start, and they did so yesterday, but earlier on in the season they hadn't scored before the 4th inning.
Waiting for the sign is McDermott, and time called again. That's the second time that's happened in the box.
Sable will reset there, calling time on the home plate umpire.
Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball sent out to deep left field. Going back is Trejo. He dives and he can't make the grab. Rounding first, heading for second is Sable, and he's into second base with a stand-up double. He slapped that one to left field.
Yeah, good opposite field power there from Sable, and an interesting play by the Brewster left fielder Trejo trying to dive for that one. It looked like he could have kept that one in front of him and maybe held a speedy Sable to a single, but he dives and it gets by him, allowing Sable to easily get into second.
So Sable now at second with a 1-out double. Robert Broom is already warming in the bullpen for the Brewster Whitecaps. Interesting move here. McDermott on the hill. He's got 1 out with a runner at second base, and now he faces Willie McIver. 433 on the year, 1 homer, 6 RBIs.
You can see Broom out there. There's a submarine pitcher out there for Brewster.
McDermott's first pitch taken low for a ball, 1-0.
It's always exciting when you get those submarine pitchers in the game. You don't see that many of them. And Robert Broom, it's interesting a move to put a guy in the bullpen. Maybe he's just getting some reps early. Maybe the coach told him he's definitely going to come in later in the game.
McDermott looks on a second, now fires the 1-0. And now 2 balls and no strikes. Willie McIver again, 433. That's 8th in the league in batting average so far in this young season here on the Cape.
Also a 500 on-base percentage. In addition to that incredible batting average, hitting 13 for 30. It's really good stuff from Willie McIver. He's just been on all season. One of the only Gatemen batters we've seen that from.
Runner at second, no score, 1 out top of the first. Here comes the 2-0, up and away. Now 3 balls and no strikes. So McDermott putting himself in a tough position here. First base is open with Sable at second. And in danger of walking Willie McIver. Luke Bonfield, the right fielder, waiting on deck.
McIver's going to look for a good pitch to hit here against McDermott here with a big hitter's count 3-0.
Here comes the 3-0, and a big cut and miss. McIver knew the fastball was coming. He just couldn't connect. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he'd like to have that one back clearly on 3-0. Probably a strike anyway. Good pitch there from McDermott. But still a hitter's count. Still a good pitch to hit here probably coming for McIver on 3-1.
McIver steps in. 6 RBIs for the Gatemen. Runner on second, no score. 1 out top of the first. 3-1 pitch from McDermott. Comes to McIver, and another cut and miss. Now the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
McIver looked it over the dugout after that and said, wow. I guess he was blown away by that fastball from McDermott on the mound, or he was just mad at himself for missing that pitch. Probably really liked it coming out of the hand of the Colorado Mesa product on the mound.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sable at second base, runner in scoring position with 1 out and no score. Here comes the pitch, and it's called strike 3. McIver doesn't like it on the outside part, but he goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That was McDermott's second strikeout.
Yeah, I think he knew it was a strike immediately. And just a good pitch on the outside corner from McDermott. Great job by the pitcher getting back in that at-bat from 3-0. Impressive stuff there from the righty. A little bit of a much different approach from the stretch than from the windup.
Here comes Luke Bonfield with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Takes a pitch up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Bonfield 235, 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. Of course, the 3-run home run coming yesterday at Hyannis. It's good to see him hit 1 out of the yard.
A bit of a hitter's wind right now out towards left field, maybe towards that Brewster bullpen.
McDermott looks on a second, does it again. 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. Now the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. John Topa waiting on deck. There are 2 outs in the inning. With Blake Sable at second base, runner in scoring position for the Gatemen here early, top of the first, and no score at Stony Brook Field. McDermott's 1-1, swung on and missed a fastball up high. Fooled Bonfield, and now he's behind in the count, 1-2.
He went chasing for that one, but you know Bonfield's feeling good after his performance yesterday, going 4 for 5, especially after he got off to such a rocky start here in Wareham, as the catcher's going to go out to the mound here.
So Gasper will go out to talk to McDermott.
But it was great for Bonfield to break that stalemate. He started off 0 for 12, and you know, he probably was feeling so good about that at bat right there that he chased that pitch well out of the zone right there.
Robert Broom no longer warming in the bullpen.
Just getting some reps in early.
McDermott looks to second again, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed the fastball. Fools Bonfield, and that'll end the inning. So back-to-back strikeouts. McDermott's got 3 in the inning. And the Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. We've got no score from Stony Brook Field. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back at Stony Brook Field, Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. No score between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps. And now let's go over the Brewster starting lineup. It'll be the shortstop, A.J. Graffinito, leading it off. Kyle Datros is at third base. He bats second. Mickey Gasper, the catcher, bats third. The returner for the Whitecaps, Nick Dunn, the All-Star from 2016. He bats fourth. He's the second baseman. Michael Curry, the DH, no relation to Steph Curry. He bats fifth. Chandler Taylor, the first baseman, bats sixth. Marty Costas in right field bats seventh. Cesar Trejo, the left fielder, bats eighth. And Hunter Bishop in center field, he bats ninth. And for the defense For the Wareham Gatemen, it'll be Robbie Metz at third, Ben Baer the shortstop, Jaron Duran at second, Blake Sable at first. Left to right in the outfield, John Topa, Tanner Dodson, Luke Bonfield, Willie McIver does the catching for Justin Hageman.
Justin Hageman coming from Penn State University. And Penn State was a really struggling Big Ten school this year. They did not have a good record. I believe they had over 35 losses this season. 75 strikeouts, just 25 walks though, so you know his command is there. Had a 5.49 ERA, which just really isn't terrible with a pretty bad team behind you out there at Penn State.
Swing and a miss here from Graffinino on the first pitch at the at-bat. He's down 0-1.
He was a freshman All-American as well in 2016.
So no balls and one strike. Graffinino 4-12 on the year, no homers, 1 run batted in. He's the shortstop today. And swings and hits this one onto second base. Duran bobbled it, and he couldn't transfer it from the glove to throw it. He dropped it, and that'll be an E4 for sure. So Graffinino reaches.
You know, it's a tough play for Duran because the ball came up on him. He looked at it like it was not actually a baseball. And, you know, you have to wonder if maybe that error on the grounds crew before the game affected that ball bouncing quite a bit there in that dirt between first and second. As you mentioned, that the grounds crew did make an error putting the sprinklers on for too long, and that canceled batting practice before this game.
Kyle DeTross, the third baseman, steps in with a runner on first, and he takes a strike. 0-1. DeTross batting .200. He's got 3 walks on the year. And Graffinino reaching on the air by Jaron Duran at first base, or rather at second base. Graffinino on first. No score, bottom of the first between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps, and they check back at first base, and Graffinino dives in safely. That was a close play.
Blake Sable really thought he had him, and tough there for a righty pitcher like Hageman to get over across his body and pick off a player. But impressive stuff on that pickoff move. Almost had him.
Hageman looks on. Here comes the 0-1, and a snap throw down to first base. Did they get him? They did! Graffinino thrown out on the base path. Snap throw from McIver down to Sable, and it works that time. Nicely done. 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
That was very impressive by McIver. He knew he was thinking that the entire time, knew exactly what he was doing on that pitch, and just fired it down to Sable. And a great tag sweeping by Sable. We mentioned he's primarily a catcher at USC, but he looks great over there at first so far this season.
Hageman's 1-1 sent past the dive of the third baseman Robbie Metz and into left field for a base hit.
And that makes that pickoff from McIver even more impressive.
The Gatemen,
go ahead.
The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can connect us. You can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Mickey Gasper, the catcher, now steps in, runner on first base. With 1 out and no score, bottom of the first. Hageman looks on, delivers the first pitch. It's in for a strike. 0-1. Gasper on the year so far, 412, 2 homers, 7 RBI. He's tied second in the Cape League in RBIs. Quickly taken for a strike, and Gasper's behind. No balls, 2 strikes.
But going back to that pickoff move, Willie McIver's been so impressive at third base so far this season. Getting a start here behind the plate. Has only started, I believe, 1 other game at catcher so far. And showing off his defensive skills all over the field so far this year.
They check back the runner, DeTross, at first base. He dives back safely. They're checking runners early here. No balls, 2 strikes to Gasper. It's a ball up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeTross taking his lead at first base after he singled past the outstretched glove of Robbie Metz at third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes Hageman's pitch. It's in the dirt. Blocked by McIver. Nicely done. Now the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good defense there by McIver. That ball in the dirt, if that gets by him, runner in scoring position with just 1 out here in the first inning.
Gasper at the plate, bats from the left side, has the bat on his shoulder, now swings and hits this one past Metz again. Into left field for a base hit, rounding second, heading for third is DeTross. He'll stop there. Going into second base is Gasper, and he's got a one-out double. Now the Whitecaps have runners at second and third with one out in the bottom of the first and no score.
Justin Hageman has his command there. Like we mentioned, he had this season with 75 strikeouts to just 25 walks. It's just that Brewster seems to have his number right now early on in this game, just 3 batters in. But
here we go, folks. See where
nothing he could have done about that error on Duran. And that second ball was just a ground ball, just in the wrong spot between the 5 and the 6.
Here is Nick Dunn, the returner from a season ago. The second baseman bats .231, no homers, 1 run batted in. He's got runners at second and third with 1 out. Dunn bats from the left side. And he takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Dunn last year on the Cape, 42 games, .311 average, 1 homer, 25 runs batted in, was 1 for 2 with a stolen base in the All-Star game. He's got an opportunity here, swings at the 0-1 and fouls it to the left, and now he's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Dunn yesterday went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored versus Falmouth in the 7-4 Brewster win. He's got a chance to drive in a couple here with a base hit with 1 out and no score in the bottom of the first. Here comes the 0-2. Framed by McIver on the outside part, just misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeTross the runner at third, Gasper at second. 1 out, no score. Dunn at the plate. Here comes the 1-2 and fouls this one deep down the left field line. Past the bullpen into the trees.
And this is a little Big Ten on Big Ten action right here. Penn State pitcher, Maryland hitter. So you have to wonder if these guys have seen each other in the past.
Dunn .261 average at Maryland this past season. 729 OPS. He's got a chance to drive in a pair. Hageman's 1-2. Fouled off again. And a nice at bat here from Nick Dunn.
Michael Gasper with that impressive double down the line. He's been on a tear so far to start this season. That was his 8th hit. He's hitting over 400.
DeTross, the runner at third, Gasper at second, and again, still 1 out in the inning with Nick Dunn at second base. He's at the plate right now. Hageman's 1-2. Chopped, foul, and little nibbler right into the grass off the batter's box. Brewster sitting at 3-2-1, 7 points in the Eastern Division, 2 points behind YD for first place. Have that 1 tie. Wareham tied 4 times last year. Dunn awaiting the 1-2 with runners at second and third. He squibs it to the first baseman, Sable. Sable can't handle it. 1 run scores. He can't flip on to first. Dunn reaches safely. DeTross scores, and the Whitecaps take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Sable couldn't handle it. He had to range to his right, just couldn't pick it up. And now the run scores.
Once again, another ground ball just in a bad spot for the pitcher Hageman. But so far, keeping on the ground despite, other than that, Gasper double down the line. But it's got to be tough for a pitcher like Hageman, who really struggled in his first appearance with Wareham, giving up 5 earned runs. And now he comes in here for his second one, and he's already down 1-0 here to a pretty impressive Brewster lineup so far.
Michael Curry, the batter, he takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0. Curry, the DH today, .250, no homers, 2 runs batted in. He's got runners at the corners. Gasper at third, and Nick Dunn at first. Dunn's got some speed. They're going to have to keep careful on the base paths. McIver's got to be ready behind the plate. The 1-0, low again, 2 balls and no strikes.
Great pick there by McIver. Although didn't exactly do what you're supposed to do, getting in front of it completely with your body, but was able to scoop it there with the backhand. We know how good he is defensively. I'll mention it again.
Michael Curry at the plate had a pinch hit RBI single last night in the win versus Falmouth. He gets the start today, and he's got a chance to drive in another run that would be the second this inning. Brewster up 1-0. The 2-0 pitch, up and in, and now 3 balls and no strikes. Hageman in danger of loading the bases. Gasper at third, Dunn at first, 1 out, and already 1-0 in favor of the Whitecaps. Hageman's 3-0 pitch to Dunn is set on the ground. Metz will go to second for 1. He flipped it onto first. They do not get the double play. Gasper scores from third, and Brewster takes a 2-0 lead.
Really good play by Metz, ranging to his left there, and was able to flip it to second. A little bit of a high flip to the second baseman Duran, and then the throw from Duran was a little bit low for Sable. Can't exactly say if Curry would have been out at first as he was flying down the line.
That'll bring up Chandler Taylor, who had a day for himself yesterday. Taylor hit 2 home runs in the win versus Falmouth. And Taylor takes a pitch inside. 1-0. Taylor on the year, 214, 2 homers, 5 RBI. Taylor hit the solo shot in the 6th, and then a 3-run blast in the 7th. And he takes strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. The game story after yesterday's game versus Falmouth, the headline was Taylor made, because his last name is Taylor.
There you go. Good one there from Jacob. I'll try my best to laugh at that one, sorry.
They check Curry at first base. He skitters back safely. 1 ball and 1 strike to Taylor at the plate. 2 outs in the inning and a 2-0 lead for the Whitecaps. And he takes a strike, 2-1. 1-2 rather.
This is a big batter here for Hageman. You don't have a runner in scoring position anymore. Now with 2 outs, don't want to put another runner in scoring position. Give Brewster a chance to compile runs here in the first.
Pitch is framed by McIver, just a bit inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Past Sable at first base and into right field. A single for Taylor. Hageman can't get out of the inning, and now it's first and second with 2 outs and a 2-0 lead for Brewster.
That was a hard hit ground ball. Brewster just making hard contact all over the field on Hageman so far. He still hasn't really settled into his groove. We've seen in any level, a lot of pitchers do sometimes struggle to get their groove in the first inning.
They call Nick Dunn's at-bat a hit, so that's not an error, but the Gatemen still do have an error. Marty Costas, the right fielder, steps in with runners at first and second, 2 outs, and a 2-0 lead for the Whitecaps. And a strike popped in, no balls and 1 strike. Costas on the year, 143, 1 homer, 1 run batted in. Hageman's 0-1. Thought about going around, but he held up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Curry, the runner at second. And Chandler Taylor, the runner at first, with 2 outs.
Another Maryland player, so might be an advantage for the batter here, knowing what Hageman can do out of the Big Ten. As McIver, the catcher, it's his job to kind of settle down his pitcher right now. He's given up 4 hits already.
Hageman's 1-1, slapped down the right field line and into the Wareham bullpen, foul. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Costas. With runners at first and second, Brewster already up 2-0. They've gotten 4 hits in the ballgame. Hageman looks on the runner at second. Curry, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Call strike 3. He frames Costas to finally end the inning, but not before the Whitecaps score 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on. The Whitecaps up 2-0. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
Top of the second. Brewster scores 2 runs on 4 hits. And it's a 2-0 lead. That last strikeout by Hageman brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. And now up for the Gatemen, it's John Topa, the center fielder. 333 on the year, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Takes a pitch inside, 1-0.
The Gatemen have given up 2 runs in their last 2 games. The only difference was they had offensive support yesterday in Hyannis to get the win.
Topa swings and hits it foul.
And 2 days ago, the pitching staff held Orleans to just 2 runs, except the Gatemen were unable to score in that game, falling 2-0 to the Firebirds.
McDermott's 1-1. In for a strike on the changeup. Now the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Topa.
McDermott's a guy that was feeling it his last outing. Striking out 4 in 5 innings worked.
Topa had the sac fly yesterday in an 0-for-4 day. 1-2 pitch, called strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for McDermott through 1 1/3 innings already.
And Topa looked back at the umpire, didn't like the call, but always hard to tell balls and strikes from this angle right here on the side. Kind of looking from at a side view of the plane from the pitcher's mound to the catcher's glove. And now this is a guy up right now that is probably feeling it after a good performance yesterday.
And Chia, the DH, steps in, swinging and missing on the first pitch at the at-bat. 0-1, and Chia 222, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. You like what you've seen out of him recently?
Absolutely. Yesterday's performance going 2 for 2 with that walk as well as the pitch comes in.
Tries to bunt for it, pops it up into the catcher's mitt. Gasper makes the catch. Not a good bunt there from Anchia. 2 gone quickly here in the top of the second.
No, that was not a good bunt at all. Right into the... Couldn't have been much easier for the catcher, just popping up and snagging that one out of midair. And
number 9 for the
not really a great at-bat there for Anchia. You'd like to see him swing the bat after what he did yesterday.
Washington University, Robbie Metz.
Robbie Metz steps in with 2 outs in the inning. And the Whitecaps up 2-0, fouls it off and just in front of the Wareham dugout.
This is a guy he knows looking for a hit to try to break what he's, the slow start that he's off to this year.
Up and in, leans back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Metz batting 100. Does have an RBI. The 1-1 pitch, fouled back, hits the pole just to the left of our table. Rings the crowd mic. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That breaking ball has been fooling the Wareham lineup so far. And changeup right now for McDermott.
McDermott's 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Metz strikes out. 2nd strikeout of the inning. 5th of the day for McDermott. And the Gatemen can't score on no hits, no errors, and no men left on. They still trail it 2-0. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Here come the Brewster Whitecaps up to the plate. They've already got a 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. Glad to be bringing you Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It'll be Cesar Trejo, the left fielder, to step in against Hageman.
Hageman needs a big inning here after struggling big time against this lineup.
Swings at the first pitch, fouls it down the third base line towards the dugout of the Whitecaps, 0-1.
That was a good first pitch breaking ball there, catching Trejo a little bit out in front of that, fouling it off down towards the third baseline, being a righty hitter.
No balls and 1 strike to Trejo. Takes one up and in, 1-1. This season, the left fielder Trejo, 200 average, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Hageman's 1-1, set and caught by the shortstop Baird on a liner. Leaped up just a bit to make the catch, and there's one gone.
Baird's been very impressive defensively so far this season at shortstop. Really fast over there, covering a lot of ground, and always seems to be on top of things defensively. He just looks like he's defensively sound, honestly. One of the, his mechanics are flawless, the Washington shortstop.
Hunter Bishop, the center fielder, takes the first pitch strike. He is 0 for 4 with a walk so far in the season. Making his debut yesterday, did strike out 3 times yesterday. 0-1, sent on the ground to Duran. He has it this time on to first base, and there's 2 quick outs in the bottom of the second.
That's exactly what Hageman needed after facing 7 batters in that first inning, giving up 2 runs. He now has 2 quick outs here. He'd love to get a 1-2-3 inning, get some rest on the bench as he watches his lineup go through in the bottom half of the second, or excuse me, the top half of the third.
Here comes Graffinino. Reached on an error. That was Duran's error at second. Back in the first. First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. He was then gunned down by McIver, checking him over at first base.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Graffinino will know to maybe shorten his leads up a little bit.
1-0 to Graffinino, fouled it straight back to the netting.
Or if he just steals, then he doesn't have to worry about being picked off at first. Because he clearly has some speed, hitting the leadoff spot, and with the pitcher and the catcher being so worried about him in the first inning.
Graffinino also attends Washington. 1-1, fouled away, and now he's down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You see that a lot of the time on the Cape. These guys play for the same college team, then they come here and play on different teams. What's that feel like?
I bet it's pretty awesome. I bet it's a lot of fun for Willie McIver and for Graffinino right now. McIver being the catcher, Graffinino the hitter. So I'm sure that they're having fun up there at the plate.
1-2 pitch, foul back again. Yeah, Graffinino this past season, a Pac-12 honorable mention.
So that's pretty awesome that McIver actually was able to throw down and pick off his own teammate there back in the first inning.
There's probably some chatter going on.
I mean, you'd think Graffinino would know how good of a catcher William McIver is and wouldn't
test him.
Yeah, honestly.
2 outs and a 2-0 lead for the Whitecaps. Hageman shaking off some signs, finally gets one from McIver, delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, it's nicely stopped from McIver, 2-2. Graffinino also one of 2 Washington Huskies to see action in all 54 games rather. Two-two pitch is sent out to deep right center field. Going back is the center fielder Dodson. That'll bounce to the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Graffinino, and it's a 2-out double here in the bottom of the second.
That's tough for Justin Hageman to get the first 2 outs pretty quickly in this inning on about 3 or 4 pitches. And now all of a sudden there's a runner in scoring position for a guy who hit a single back in the first inning.
To bring up Kyle Detros. Singled and came around to score back in the first. One of 2 Brewster runs as they lead it 2-0. Graffinino at second base. First pitch at the at-bat. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Yesterday was Brewster's home opener. Had some rainout issues.
But it was only 1 game, so still a pretty tough schedule, just like the Gatemen to start this season for Brewster.
A lot of road games for both teams to start off. The 1-0. Breaking ball missing just a bit outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The home opener for the Whitecaps versus Chatham on June 17th was canceled due to the field conditions. That one's rescheduled for Thursday, June 29th. Tross awaiting the 2-0 with a runner at second. And fastball zipped in there by Hageman. 2-1.
It's a big strike there. Don't want to fall behind 3-0, especially with that runner in scoring position. Having 2 guys on here after getting the first 2 outs of the inning would be pretty bad for a guy who gave up 2 runs in the first. You know the nerves are there for Hageman right now on the Cape.
Here comes the 2-1. That is a broken bat. Fly ball out to shallow center field. Going out and making the grab is Jaron Duran. So he retires this side, he retires Detros, and that'll end the inning. So the Whitecaps get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. They still lead it 2-0 over the Gatemen. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care.
Sorry about that. Back here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Mass. Jacob Tobey alongside Sam Corman, and the Gatemen trail it 2-0 in this inning. Tanner Dodson, Ben Baird, and Jaron Duran for the Gatemen.
And the pitcher, McDermott, has really looked solid in these first innings. His changeup, curveball, and fastball combined have really been fooling the hitters. Also has that slider that he uses against these lefty batters.
McDermott's first pitch swung and hit foul out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Dotson this season batting .300 with 3 walks.
You know he's a guy eager to get an at-bat in after taking a few days off in the lineup.
The 0-1. Missing low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dotson out of California. One. Pops in for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you think Dotson was definitely thinking of a curveball or a slider on that pitch. Didn't come in. And he just looked at it fly by him. Now he's down in the count immediately.
Here comes McDermott's 1-2. Thought about chasing it, but it's a bit outside. 2-2.
Now I think it might have been the slider from the pitcher, McDermott, but it's tough to see here from this angle if it's a slider or not because it moves laterally.
2-2. Framed by Gasper. Fastball just missing, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That one was just outside.
It was close.
But a bold move by Dotson either way, not chasing that one.
Here comes McDermott's 3-2. It's a bit low, and Dotson's off with a leadoff walk.
So the first guys aboard for Wareham, that's big for them, as they've struggled to even make contact on McDermott.
Warrior number 3 from the University of
And maybe that walk will rattle the pitcher a little bit. He's only been in the stretch once today, but he struck out both batters he faced in the stretch back in the first inning.
So Ben Baird has a runner at first base, batting .111 on the year. He's a right-handed batter. He steps in. Dotson at first has some speed. They pitch out. Nothing doing on the base paths. 1-0.
We've seen aggressive calls from the coaching staff here in Wareham, sending runners to second, middle of counts. I wouldn't be surprised if Dotson took off in the middle of this at-bat or the next one.
Here comes the 1-0. Dotson does go. Swing and miss at the plate. Now Dotson's caught in a pickle. Now the ball back to the first baseman. Dotson still stuck in between. Do they tag him? No! The ball got loose.
That is a major error there.
Dotson finds himself at second after a pickle, and you never know what happens on the base pass.
And Chandler Taylor, the first baseman, almost tagged him out, but as he tagged him, the ball came out of his hand, and the umpire was about to call him out.
And now they do call him out. Batter interference at the plate, and here comes Don Snedden to talk to home plate umpire Mark Piondadasi. Batter at the interference at the plate, it looked like.
On Ben Baird.
On Ben Baird, yeah. So Dotson would go back to first in this situation if it holds true. Trying to get some inside knowledge here. Don Snedden talking to the home plate umpire. Dotson back at first. Ben Baird is now in the dugout. He went back. What happened was Dotson was off to second on a steal. The throw was in time. Dotson then turned back. He was in a pickle. They tagged Dotson, but the ball got loose. He was then safe, but the catcher Gasper probably couldn't get a clean throw down because of Baird in the box if this holds true. And Don Snedden, the head coach, still talking to the home plate umpire about it.
I've never seen that. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I don't know. I'm very confused.
I'll
right
agree
now.
with you.
I'm very confused.
I will agree.
You have to wonder what Ben. I wasn't looking. Obviously, I wasn't looking towards the plate.
No,
when that
no,
happened.
the play's at second.
But you have to wonder what Ben Baird did to get that called on him. Don Snedden is pretty upset. We'll get more on that on.
See if Matt Feld can get some information.
When Matt Feld gets his first coach's interview of the day, we'll probably hear about that play. But very interesting play there. Baird's out now.
Top of the batting order, warning number 10 from Long
That'll
Beach.
bring up Jaron Duran.
I don't even know how to score that. Is it a BI? What is that?
I'm going to write down 2 and put a circle for 1 out. That'll bring up Duran. He struck out, swinging his first time up, takes a pitch up and away. 1-0. Well, now they expect Dotson with the wheels at first base. So they got to be careful.
I just wrote BI for batter's interference.
That's a good one, too.
In that little square.
We'll look it up. how to actually score. They check Dodson at first. He's safe. How to score at batter's interference. We'll find out in just a moment if you're scoring at home, which would be pretty tough. So Dodson the runner at first. 1 out and still a 2-0 lead for Brewster. Pitch up and away, 2-0. Durant now 1 for 7 on the season.
Put out to the fielder with whom the runner interfered. It's the catcher. So, number 2. Very interesting. Thank you to Paul's Random Baseball Stuff, a WordPress blog.
Reliable source. That's what we've learned in college. That one fouled straight back, 2-1. Getting information, INT, and then the number of the position, so 2. You could also write INT for interference.
Yeah, he wrote in this little box here, I, and then I don't know. It's very confusing, honestly. I'm just going to keep it as it is, but a new batter.
We'll know what we're talking about. Duran, 2-1 count with 1 out in the inning. Dodson is going to go, but Duran fouls it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A hit and run with Tanner Dodson was on there with 2 strikes. You'd like to see Durant put down a bunt one of these at bats. Now there's 2 strikes, obviously, so he won't. But
he would have the speed to get it out.
He would definitely have the speed to get down to first base. We saw him get to first base on a routine grounder to short yesterday.
McDermott's 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. A fastball up and away for the 2nd out of the inning. That's the 6th strikeout already from McDermott. And Durant's 2nd time striking out tonight. Dodson holds it first, and now Blake Sable, who doubled his first time up, is at the plate.
Well, Sable is one of the few batters in this lineup that's been able, probably the only batter in this lineup that's been able to solve McDermott, so we can see if he can mount some of that magic.
Sable trying to bunt it down the third base line, but it goes foul. 6 strikeouts for McDermott already. At Colorado Mesa University, he had 108 strikeouts, first in the RMAC. 108 strikeouts just to 32 walks. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodson's still the runner at first. The Gatemen trail at 2-0 here in the top of the 3rd at Stony Brook Field. Jacob Toby along with Sam Corman. We're going to get an update from Matt Weaselthayer in just a moment on what's going on around the Cape League. 1-1, popped up in the infield. The catcher, Gasper, looking for it. It's actually going to be the first baseman, Taylor, who makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. So the Gatemen get no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 man left on. They still trail it 2-0. Now we'll send it to Matt Weaselthayer for an Around the Cape League update. Matt?
Thanks so much, Jacob. It's been an interesting day so far in the beginning of the Cape League, and it's really between the leaders in the West and the leaders in the East as YD hosts Cotuit. The game currently 2-1. First inning was where all the runs happened. 2 runs for Cotuit on a Zach Cohn 2 RBI single. 2 errors so far also for YD. YD's 1 run coming in the first inning as well, as it was Carlos Cortez with an RBI single. That game currently in the 3rd inning. Around the Cape League, well, the other games haven't started yet. At 6 o'clock is the start of the Harwich-Bourne game. Bourne currently with 8 points in the East Division. Hyannis and Falmouth also playing at 6 o'clock, and then Chatham and New Orleans at 7 to round out the rest of the day. It's been a great Cape League season so far, and the Cape League season just well underway, just a week in. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this game going on right now?
That is enthusiastic updating from Matt Weaselthayer, one of our producers, filling in for Connor Federico today, who's out on assignment. Jacob Toby along with Sam Corman, recapping that last half inning. What the heck?
Weirdest play I've ever seen, not only because of the batter interference, but because Tanner Dodson made it to second on that, almost made it to second on that play, when the first baseman Chandler went to tag him and the ball came out of his hand as he went to tag him. Very interesting inning, and now a new pitcher, it looks like, for Wareham coming out of here.
get the name in just a moment. Don Sneddon still talking to the home plate umpire about that play.
It's going to be Peyton Culbertson on the mound.
Who you predicted we would see today, and that's true.
I did say we'd see Culbertson. He did struggle in his first outing. Look for a 91 to 94 mile an hour fastball. He has a 4-pitch mix with that curveball, slider, and changeup. Probably mixes it up depending on righty and lefty batters. This season at Arkansas State University out in Jonesboro, Arkansas, went 15 starts with a 6.32 ERA, about 2 strikeouts per walk.
So Mickey Gasper will face Culbertson. Hageman goes 2 innings, and now they call on Culbertson. Gasper, the left-handed batter, takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. The catcher today doubled and came around to score back in the first.
Tough outing for Hageman, giving up 5 hits in 2 innings. And, you know, he's looking for that first good outing. After that, he'll probably start to pick it up this season.
Second pitch of the at-bat, low, 1-1.
It's just hard that once hitters start getting your number, it's just hard to recover as a pitcher. It gets inside your head. And that's what it seems happened to Hageman today in just 2 innings pitched.
Culbertson's 1-1 sent deep to left field. Topa going back, and he makes the play. Off the bat, it sounded like it might have had a chance, but Topa makes the play and left, 1 gone. So a fly out to left field for Mickey Gasper. And that'll be Nick Dunn, the second baseman, who singled back in the first.
Wearing number 39 from Maryland, one of the Terrapins. Here's the Whitecaps' second baseman.
Maryland Terrapin.
Nick Dunn.
Returning for his second season on the Cape. Culbertson's first pitch, swung on and fouled straight back 0-1. Again, Dunn was an all-star selection for the Eastern Division last year. Culbertson's 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Nick Dunn, one of the few returners on this Brewster roster. You know, he has the Cape League experience.
This one nicked foul in the air, and 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But he would have liked to have gotten off to a better start this season in his second season here, as he's just 3 for 13 after a good day yesterday.
Culbertson's 1-2 pitch, just outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and 2-0 lead for the Whitecaps over the Gatemen. Culbertson delivers a 2-2, off speed, fouled straight back again. This Brewster offense last season was arguably the best in the league. First in batting average, runs scored, home runs, OPS, an electric offense. And now Dunn at the plate. Here comes the 2-2 from Culbertson. And that's set up in the air to shallow center field. Dodson coming in, and he will make the grab, 2 outs.
A good start for Culbertson here in the 3rd inning after he struggled quite a bit in his debut of the season. That was in the home opener against Falmouth. He threw 2+ innings, giving up 2 earned runs on 3 hits. Struck out 2, walked a batter, and also hit a batter. So you know that Culbertson's coming out here looking to prove himself as one of the top pitchers on this roster, as he was supposed to be coming in here out of Arkansas State.
Curry, the Georgia product, takes a first pitch ball, 1-0.
That's the Red Wolves of Arkansas State, by the way.
Curry. Oh. Swing off the 1-0, send it out to center field. Dodson went back at first, then comes in, makes the catch to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Culbertson. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. And the Gatemen, they're going to head to the bats. They still trail at 2-0. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare blood drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Wareham Gatemen's catcher.
2-0 score at Stony Brook Field. We head to the fourth. Jacob Toby alongside my man, Sam Corman.
Yeah.
Willie McIver will step in. He struck out looking for the second out in the first inning. Swinging on the first pitch and fouling it over the press box. Out of play for strike one. McDermott still on the hill. He's looked very, very good.
Maybe, just maybe, has that weird windup of his where he stops mid-motion, fooling the Gatemen hitters. It could be fooling them, but it also could be the great combination of changeup, fastball, curveball.
See the breaking ball there.
That breaking ball was nasty, and it fooled McIver again, just froze him there, and immediately one of the best hitters in the lineup already struck out looking once, down in the count 0-2.
McDermott's 0-2 pitch to Willie McIver, and called strike three. That's the second time McIver goes down looking. Count them up, 7 Ks for McDermott, 1 gone.
On just 3 pitches, too. A pretty impressive go there for McDermott. He looks really sharp
Number 5,
as the middle of this Gatemen lineup looks to solve the Colorado Mesa product.
Brewster Whitecaps head coach Jamie Shevchik said that McDermott's first start was like a tryout. He obviously did pretty well then. The ball 1-0 to Luke Bonfield. If that was a tryout, and if this is a tryout, well, he's going to stay if it keeps going like this. 1-0, set foul back.
He is on the temporary contract, but with the way he's pitched so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see him sticking around for the remainder of this season for Brewster. I mentioned he didn't give up any runs in his first inning, also didn't walk any batters in 5 innings pitched.
1-1, fouled off again. 1-1 becomes 1-2. Hey, those temporary contracts, they turn into full ones at some point for some of the players here on the Cape.
We've already seen one for Wareham. That was Nate Fosnot, battling a little bit of an injury so far. But that did turn to a full contract for the shortstop.
1-2 is sent foul down the right field line over the Wareham bullpen, out of play. John Topa waiting on deck. Topa struck out looking his first time up. Here comes the 1-2 and sent foul right to the ball boys. Netting they have to protect the stand right behind, or sit behind that rather. One of the ball boys gives the home plate umpire some new baseballs.
But throughout the season, this middle of the lineup of McIver, Bonfield, Topa, and adding Tristan Pompey, it looks really good right now. Topa coming in .333. Bonfield was 0 for 12. Now he's hitting .235 after 4 hits yesterday.
1-2, breaking ball just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And of course, McIver was over 400 coming into today. Just looks like he's not seeing the ball out of McDermott as well as he has previous pitchers.
McDermott's 2-2 pitch to Bonfield, framed by the catcher Gasper just a bit outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and a 2-0 lead for the Whitecaps over the Gatemen in the top of the 4th.
You see Topa here waiting on deck, studying that weird windup of McDermott. It's just so odd.
3-2, chop foul right to the Brewster bullpen. We'll do it again. Just one of the longer pauses I've seen in a delivery.
Absolutely, and then he kicks towards the plate like nothing even happened.
He delivers, pauses. Here it comes, the 3-2. close, but ball 4. Very close for Bonfield, but the way the game's going today behind the plate, I would have thought that would have been called strike 3.
And Bonfield jogging down to first base before even giving the umpire an opportunity to make the call. And he could have already been halfway down when he was called out on strikes, but that one was just outside. And another pretty impressive breaking ball for McDermott, even though it missed.
Topa is 0 for 1. He went 0 for 4 yesterday with a sac fly versus Hyannis. Now runner at first base in Luke Bonfield with 1 out and no score. This one slap foul. 2-0 the score.
Jake Anchia showed bunt. He's on deck. He showed bunt his first time up. You'd expect to see him come up there swinging the bat after hitting that jack opposite field yesterday. But now Topa, a .333 hitter. He's looking for that first hit of the game after he struck out looking. A lot of strikeouts so far.
0-1 sent up the middle, past the second baseman into center field for a base hit. It'll be first and second with 1 out for the Gatemen. Topa finds himself on first, Bonfield at second, and Chia comes up, like you said, he'll be looking to swing.
Absolutely, hit that 3-run shot to the opposite field yesterday in Hyannis. I was expecting him to come up there trying to follow that up in the second inning, but decided to bunt, and unfortunately for him, it was one of the worst things that can happen to you on a bunt. Popped it right up into the catcher's glove.
McDermott in 5 innings versus Hyannis June 15th had 4 strikeouts. He has 7 in 3 1/3 innings. And Anchia takes a ball, 1-0.
You have to wonder if any big-time SEC school scouts are out here looking at this pitcher, wondering how he's a D2 pitcher right now.
Wondering how he got away. Runners at first and second, 1 out, 2-0 Brewster lead. McDermott looks on at second base. Here comes the 1-0. Sent foul, just above our heads, out of play.
This is important for Anchia now with a runner on first and second to make sure he forces McDermott to throw strikes. Can't chase anything out of the zone. Can't give any freebies here to a pitcher who's already on fire so far to start this game, but now his first trouble of the game.
Bonfield at second, Topa at first, Anchia at the plate. The 1-1 pitch is sent over our heads, foul again.
And that was a pitch in the zone. Anchia just fouled it off, was kind of mad at himself there. Would have liked to put that one in play, but didn't chase out of the zone like we just said. So he's doing his job at the plate right now, but now is behind on McDermott.
McDermott trying to get the signs from his catcher, Gasper. He has them. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Brewster up 2-0. Runners at first and second. Here comes the 1-2. That is set up in the air. That one coming down now, being called off, is the third baseman. Now Graffinito, the shortstop, comes in, makes the grab out in shallow left field for the second out of the inning.
And you know, Anchia, like I just said, chased that pitch well out of the zone, way up high, and just kind of popped it up under, got the bat underneath it, and gotta force a pitcher that's pitching that well to throw strikes, or else your problems are going to continue. And Robbie Metz came up here and saw, I'm pretty sure he saw 3 pitches before.
What does he have to
down.
do to continue, to change what he's doing at the plate?
Well, he's got to think back to what worked for him last year. He was an all-star here on the Cape.
First pitch at the at-bat to Metz, slow it away, 1-0.
Got to be more patient. And he came up here, kind of hacked away, and was down on 3 pitches. And he's probably pretty excited here with 2 men on, and an opportunity to change things for him. He's only 2 for 21 coming into this at-bat.
Runners at first and seconds for Metz, but 2 outs and a 2-0 lead for Brewster. Here comes McDermott's 1-0. That's sent right up the middle, past the dive of the shortstop, and in for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Bonfield. An RBI single for Robbie Metz, and it's 2-1.
Exactly what Robbie Metz wanted to do there. He was swinging away at that good pitch down the middle and just lined it right back where it came from. And you know he needed that to get going here, the George Washington product.
Center fielder from the Golden Bears of California.
He gets the RBI single. Bonfield scores. Heading to second is Topa. Now Tanner Dodson is up. He walked his first time up versus McDermott.
That's a big run on McDermott. Had 7 strikeouts before.
Looks back. Topa at second. Here comes the first pitch to Dodson. It's low for a ball. 1-0. So again, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. It's 2-1. The Gatemen get an RBI single from Robbie Metz. And it's now Dodson, the center fielder, at the plate.
We mentioned production from the bottom of the order. There it is.
1-0 becomes 2-0.
And they'll see if they can get some more production from the bottom of the order. Still 2 men on, still a runner in scoring position for an 8-hitter. With Ben Baird waiting on deck. You know, he'd like to get in on the action, but he's counting on Dodson to make sure that he can get up to the plate this inning.
McDermott, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. And that one is called a strike, 2-1.
The umpire points right to us for those strikes. Guess he's just letting us know.
Home plate umpire Mike Piantadosi. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, a 2-1 lead for the Whitecaps over the Gatemen. 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, stopped by the catcher Gasper. Almost lost it, but finds it again. No advancement from the runners, 3-1.
McDermott's command now struggling a little bit out of the stretch here in this 4th inning after he was lights out in the first 3 1/3 of this game. So some more balls coming out, and that means some more pitches to hit on hitters' counts here, especially a 3-1.
McDermott looks at second base in Topa. The 3-1 pitch, up and away, ball 4. Bases are juiced for Ben Baird.
And isn't this a guy that would like to get a big bases loaded hit in right now for Wareham?
Time is called. Gasper goes out to the mound to talk to McDermott. Puts his right hand on the back of McDermott. McDermott struck out Will McIver looking for his 7th strikeout. Then he walked Bonfield. He let up a single to John Topa. Jake Anchia flew out to the shortstop, Graffinino. Metz RBI single. Dodson walked, and that's how we have the bases loaded. Ben Baird got retired
somehow
back in the 3rd inning. But now he's got a chance with 2 outs, bases loaded, 2-1. Gatemen trail it. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1.
Baird's a guy who's been retired each of the last 2. He's just 2 for 18 coming into this game. You know he is looking for a big hit with the bases loaded right here. It would completely change his season if he gets a hit here.
0-1, bouncing to the plate. Blocked nicely by Gasper, keeps it in front of him, 1-1.
I just see Wareham's batters being much more patient in this inning, forcing McDermott to throw strikes. They were chasing a lot out of the zone. Maybe it was the adrenaline from yesterday's 10-run performance carrying over into today. Kind of just chasing stuff up high, out of the zone, outside.
1-1, check swing. They go down to first base. Did he go? No, says first place umpire Frank Auditore. So now the count, 2 balls and 1 strike with the bases loaded. Topa at 3rd, Metz at 2nd, Dodson at 1st. And a 2-1 ball game. Wareham trails it by just a run. McDermott gets the pitch. Sets and delivers, and it's fouled straight back to the fence, 2-2.
Once again, though, a pitch that was probably a ball up high out of the zone. Baird chasing it. Could have been a 3-1 count if had he not swung, but it was still a pretty solid pitch there on 2-1 from McDermott. Looked like a fastball that he was just a little bit underneath, fouled it off into the fencing behind him. Almost into the broadcast layer of the Brewster Whitecaps.
It is a layer. That was a great adjective you just used there. Here comes the pitch. That's sent out to the shortstop, Graffinino. He'll throw on to first, and that will retire the side. So the Gatemen leave the bases loaded, but they do score a run. Thanks to an RBI single from Robbie Metz, they score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 men left on. It's a 2-1 ball game in favor of Brewster. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to hibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Hibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Back at Stony Brook Field, a 2-1 lead. Wareham fights back for a run in the last half inning thanks to Robbie Metz, an RBI single. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. And it's Chandler Taylor to lead it off against Peyton Culbertson.
Peyton Culbertson did good in his first inning of work.
And Taylor takes a first pitch, strike 0-1. Don't know if you realize this right now, but down the third base line, up in the trees, there are some seats that people are sitting in. Down the third base line. Do you realize that?
Oh, wow, up in the trees. Look at that.
The 0-1 taken for a strike quickly, 0-2. It's my favorite part of this ballpark. It's hidden, but it's a great seat.
I bet it's a great view up there.
Yes, it is.
You know, I bet that little hill in center field wouldn't be bad either to set up shop.
But no one is out there in center field. A swing and a miss. Culbertson fools Taylor on a breaking pitch. And Taylor down on 3 strikes for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. 385 to center field.
Number 36 from Arkansas State, Peyton Culbertson.
And that strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Axafaris, and Bullard.
And Culbertson's really settled in here. After struggling in his first outing, you know that last inning of 1-2-3 really built his confidence.
Costas, the batter, struck out looking back in the first to end the inning. Takes a ball 1-0.
Whitecaps number 42, right fielder Marty Costas.
Here comes the 1-0 from Culbertson. Cut on and missed. 1-1.
You know, Costas is a guy that's eager to get on base here. Just 1 for 8 so far this year.
1-1 comes in a bit too much. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And that 1 hit is a home run. So he really hasn't been on base much because that home run he was just trotting around the bases.
If you could only have 1 hit, I bet he'd want it to be a home run. Ball in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike. Is that true or not true?
I mean, that's the most efficient way to score, isn't it?
Technically speaking, yes. 1 out in the inning, 2-1, Brewster over Wareham. 3-1 count to Costas. Here comes the pitch. He sends this one on a line out to center field. Going back is Bonfield, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Another flyout on Culbertson. So the Brewster Whitecaps hitters making some decent contact on the Jonesboro, Arkansas pitcher out in Arkansas State.
Yeah, that's the 4th flyout of his outing since he came in back in the 3rd. So bring up Cesar Trejo, the left fielder, lined out to shortstop, out to Ben Baird, the first time up. Pitch, a fastball up and away, 1-0. The sun has gone down, not really set, but the clouds are covering it. Some darkness here at Stony Brook Field. Wind going out to right center field. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Up for a ball, 2-0. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. A 2-1 lead for the Whitecaps. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Culbertson. Swung on a miss. And Trejo now has a 2-1 count.
Trejo, one of just 2 players on this Brewster roster that's entering their senior year of college next year. Some youth, a lot of rising sophomores, more so than other teams.
2-1, taken for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, you'll see mostly sophomores, juniors, but there are some seniors.
A few, but I feel like the majority of them are rising juniors here in the Cape League.
2-2 pitch, foul back to the netting. We'll do it again.
MacGyver thought about going to get that baseball, but then he's like, oh, the bat kid really would like to go and get a chance to pick that one up. Does a great job.
Speaking of seniors, Metz, Robbie Metz, a senior, rising senior. Just finished his sophomore season, or rather junior season. 2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Breaking ball worked for Culbertson. That's his second strikeout of the inning. And it's 3 up and 3 down. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. The Gatemen still trail it 2-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Healthcare now offers Cape Cod residents and visitors convenient urgent medical care by emergency room trained physicians at the Fontaine Outpatient Center in Harwich and the Stoneman Outpatient Center in Sandwich. For sore throats and coughs, x-rays and splinting, suturing of lacerations, and much, much more, come to the Stoneman Outpatient Center at 2 Jan Sebastian Drive, just off of Exit 2 in Sandwich, or the Fontaine Outpatient Center at 525 Long Pond Drive, just off Exit 11 in Harwich. Both have extended evening and weekend hours, and both centers are staffed by emergency room physicians. No appointment or referral is necessary. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Back here, top of the 5th inning. This one ripped down the right field line by Jaron Duran. He finds himself on third. Now the umpire says head to second.
That was a bunt, I believe, by Duran, and he got to second on a throwing error there, as we came back a little bit late from break.
It's all good. Everything's good.
But Duran finds himself on second.
So the leadoff hitter Duran is on second base. Sable now the batter, the left-handed batter. It's a 2-1 ball game. Wareham trailing Brewster. And McDermott still on the hill. There is action in the Brewster bullpen. This one bunted down the third baseline. McDermott picks it, fires to first, and in time. So Sable was retired. Sacrifice bunt in play. To third goes Duran.
Sable flying down the line, trying to beat that one out, and looked like he really stretched towards the bag for that one, out by about a half a step, but now a runner on third here, a chance to score on a fly ball, but MacGyver has really struggled today.
MacGyver now with a runner 90 feet away, the tying run. And Duran, pitch out. There's a ball, 1-0.
It just seems like the command of McDermott has settled down here a little bit. He was on fire in those first 3 innings, striking out 7.
1-0 swung on a miss from MacGyver. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out in the inning. Sable retired on the sac bunt.
You mentioned we wanted to see Duran bunt more often, and there was no way he was being caught out at first with that speed. Maybe he'll steal home.
That'd be nice. McDermott's 1-1 is set far down the right field line, foul and out of play.
But when you struck out twice, swinging both times on the same pitcher, you're going to come up there with a different approach, and he knows that he has the opportunity every single time to reach base with a little bunt if it's placed correctly. And that's such a huge advantage to have as a batter if you have that speed. It's just another weapon you can use when things aren't going right for you.
Duran at third. The game's tying run as the Gatemen trail at 2-1. Here comes the pitch to MacGyver. He pops it up foul and out of play behind the Wareham bullpen, or rather the dugout.
MacGyver, you know, he'd really love to fly one into the outfield here, because it seems that even maybe a shallow fly ball would probably get Durant home from third. You know, he's thinking tag all the way, no matter where that ball lands in the outfield.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Gatemen trail at 2-1. Duran, the game's tying run, 90 feet away. Here comes the pitch to McIver. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
McIver really trying to solve this guy. This is the second time he's seen him from the stretch today, in the first inning, but he struck out looking. He faced that weird windup back in the 4th and struck out looking as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes. McIver at the plate, runner 90 feet away. And now the count's full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Luke Bonfield waiting on deck for Wareham. So the Gatemen trail it 2-1. Top half of the 5th inning. Here at Stony Brook Field. Jaron Duran 90 feet away, the game's tying run. William McIver, catcher at the plate for the Gatemen. 3-2 pitch, up high, ball 4, walks down to first base, runners at the corners.
Now this is interesting because with a speedy guy on first.
Are you going to predict a double steal?
I'm going to predict McIver going on the second, and I'm going to predict the catcher eating it. Because
Okay.
I don't think he's going to want to test Duran over there at third, knowing that he will probably score if he throws down to second.
Jamie Shevchuk, the head coach for Brewster, coming out, making a pitching change here in Brewster. So J.D. McDermott's night is done. The Gatemen are threatening. They got runners at the corners, and they trail it 2-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
This is your kind of drummer, right?
Coming up, a new pitching change here for the Brewster Whitecaps. It's Andrew Pagnozzi.
And Pagnozzi out of Ole Miss. We've seen a lot of Ole Miss guys in these past few days. Saw one out of Hyannis yesterday. But you look for his fastball. Doesn't have a ton of velocity. 85 to 87 miles per hour on that fastball. Curveball and a slider as well. So 2 breaking balls.
Facing Luke Bonfield, runners at the corners, and a swing and a miss there from Bonfield, kind of a half-hearted one at that. Duran is the runner at third, McIver at first, and the Gatemen trail the Brewster Whitecaps 2-1.
But I did predict that McIver, before we went to break, I did predict that McIver would try to take second here to prevent that inning-ending double play. We'll see if he does.
Swings, and on this one sends it out to deep left center field. Going over there, making the catch is the left fielder Trejo. From third, coming home is Duran. And the game now is tied on thanks to a sac fly from Luke Bonfield. 2-2.
Did exactly what he was supposed to, getting it out into the outfield, knowing that Duran was going to score no matter what, and got it very deep. Bonfield got some solid contact on that. And now all of a sudden we have a tie game.
So Bonfield, the sac fly. And now here comes John Topo with a runner at first base, with 2 outs in the inning and a 2-2 ball game. Runner goes, ball in the dirt, throw down to second base, not in time. McIver, a stolen base, like you predicted.
Now he steals. Now he steals now that Duran's off the bases. So McIver, always a threat on the bases.
Yeah, that's McIver with his 6th stolen base of the year.
Wow. Impressive stuff there from a catcher, nonetheless.
Very athletic catcher. Topa at the plate. Swings at the 1-0 pitch, hands it to the shortstop Graffinino on to first, and the side is retired. But not before the Gatemen get a run on a sac fly thanks to Luke Bonfield. Jaron Duran comes home from third, and the Gatemen tie it up 2-2. 1 run, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on, and again it's 2-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Gatemen head coach Don said it. Coach, how nice was it to see Robbie Matz come up with a really big hit for you guys in that 3rd inning?
Well, that takes a lot off of him right there. That first hit, and especially with an RBI situation, just hopefully that'll get him going now.
And then in the middle of the order, on an extra base hit, but Luke Bonfield able to get the ball in the outfield and get a really big productive out, something you guys maybe have been lacking earlier in the season.
Yeah, we needed that productive out. That's really what we've been lacking. So to see that just is, again, showing that maybe some of the stuff we've been working on is paying off.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Matty Fell. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. The Gatemen and the Brewster Whitecaps tied up at 2, thanks to a sac fly by Luke Bonfield.
I'm really interested to see Peyton Culbertson's 3rd inning of work here. He's retired the first 6 batters he's faced, including 2 strikeouts back in the 4th. And so he's definitely feeling good about his game, but he hasn't faced these next 3 batters, Bishop, Graffinino, and Datris.
Hunter Bishop swings at the first pitch, sends it deep to left field. Going back is Topa, and it bounces and hits the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Bishop, and a leadoff double for Hunter Bishop, the center fielder.
It's the first hit by Culbertson allowed, and not a good time here with no outs here in the 5th inning.
Graffinito, the shortstop, coming up. He doubled back in the 2nd inning. And the go-ahead run at second base. So Graffinino batting from the left side. Showing bunt, pulls it back, and now the pitch outside, 1-0.
We saw Graffinino batting from the right side, I believe, earlier in this game. And that's pretty interesting considering both these pitchers have been righties, I believe. So interesting stuff there, deciding to switch sides of the plate even though he's still facing a righty pitcher.
Bishop, the runner at second, the 1-0 pitch. Low for a ball, 2 balls, no strikes.
I bet Willie McIver's wondering why his teammates batting from the right side instead of the left side here, or why he was batting from the other side back in a different inning.
A little confused. Culbertson looks back, the runner at second, and swinging at the 2-0 pitch was Graffinino, 2-1. So Bishop starts off the bottom of the 5th with a double. He's the go-ahead run. Game tied up at 2 between the Gatemen and the Brewster Whitecaps. Graffinino at the plate, bunts it down. Right back to Culbertson, the pitcher, throws on a first. In time to retire Graffinino. The sac bunt in play. Moves the runner, Bishop, over to third for the first out of the inning.
A good play there by Graffinino, but another good play there by Peyton Culbertson. Stayed composed with a really speedy runner heading down to first base. Did not rush it. Picked up the ball. Took his time, knowing he had plenty of time, as that wasn't the best placed bunt for Graffinino to go for a hit, but he very easily could have beaten it out had it been more towards the third base or first base side.
Kyle DeTross singled and came around to score back in the first and popped up to Duran at second base in the second. First pitch ball from Culbertson, 1-0. Now Bishop, the go-ahead run, 90 feet away, a little bit closer.
Yes, we saw the Gatemen play small ball back in the top half of the inning, and now the Whitecaps trying to follow that up with some of their own.
Culbertson's 1-0 is fouled straight back to the fence, 1-1. Mickey Gasper, the catcher, waiting on deck with 1 out in this 2-2 ball game. Culbertson taking his time to get the signs from McIver, his catcher. Finally does. Kicks and deals. The 1-1 low, 2-1.
An interesting hometown for Kyle Datras. Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So you know he probably grew up going to the Little League World Series every year, right in his hometown. Seeing some great action in the summers out there.
Two-one pitch, up and in, 3-1. So Culbertson in danger of walking DeTross, the third baseman. Again, Mickey Gasper waiting on deck. With a runner 90 feet away, the go-ahead run in Hunter Bishop in this 2-2 ball game. 3-1 pitch is swung on and popped up foul. Out of play.
No opportunity to hit some cars on foul balls like we saw in Orleans
About
the other
7
day.
miles walk from here to the parking lot.
But in Orleans the other day, the cars parked up on the hill were in danger constantly of righty batters fouling balls away. Certainly a bold move by those drivers to park there.
3 balls, 2 strikes, runner 90 feet away in a 2-2 ball game. And that one, a called strike 3. DeTross goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. 2 gone.
Number 9 from Bryant
Yeah, and those law
University.
offices should be seeing a big spike in business today. That's the 4th strikeout for the Gatemen pitching staff.
Bring in the business.
Helping out our general manager, Andy Lang, of course.
Mickey Gasper, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 on the day, doubled and scored back in the first. He's got a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. Takes a first pitch strike. 0-1.
That's a big strikeout for Culbertson with that guy on third. That sac bunt worked very well for Brewster. But now 2 outs, the sac fly is not going to work anymore. They're going to need a hit.
Culbertson's 0-1 outside. Gasper out of Bryant this past season, 54 games, 342 average, 7 homers, 53 runs batted in.
I'm sure he's disappointed that his teammate Nick Angelini is not in the lineup today. Would have liked to see him as he's behind the plate.
1-1 is sent into the air to left field. Coming into it is John Topa. He makes the catch to end the inning. So the Brewster Whitecaps cannot get any runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. This game is all tied up at 2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Gatemen going to try to take the lead at Stony Brook Field. It's 2-2 between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. And Jake Anchia to lead it off for the Gatemen. It's Anchia, Metz, and Dodson. They're still going to face Andrew Pagnozzi, who came in and
number 16.
got the last 2 outs of the 5th inning. First pitch, in for a strike. 0-1. Anchia today 0 for 2. That one outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Anchia bunted it up in the air to the catcher Gasper for the first out. Rather, the second out in the 2nd inning. This one chopped foul in the box, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Then he flew out to the shortstop, Graffinino, for the 2nd out of the 4th inning.
And an impressive day for J.R. McDermott, the starter. Did give up those 2 runs, but just on 4 hits for the Gatemen. Struck out 7 batters in just 4 1/3 inning of work and walked 2 guys on the way. But only 4 1/3. Not in line for the win, of course, as the game is now tied.
Only one of those runs is earned. Here comes the pitch, 1-2 to Anchia in the dirt.
What was it? Is it unearned, even though Duran got on with a single?
That's what the official score says.
Okay, well, so I will change that.
2-2, Anchia sends this one out to center field. Going back to make the play is Bishop. He gave that one a ride, just missed it. 1 gone.
Looking to follow up on yesterday's opposite field jack. Not quite enough for Anchia. Still a hitter's ballpark here in Brewster, though. 315 down the line. And about the same down the right field line as the left. And just 385 out there in deep center field compared to about 415 in Wareham.
Robbie Metz steps in. He RBI singled his last time up. Very slow breaking ball, just a bit outside, 1-0. And this game is now an official ball game. And why I say that is because here in Brewster there are no lights. So sunlight is an issue. The 1-0 sent back to the pitcher. Pagnozzi on to first base, retires Metz. for the second out of the inning. So an official game in the Cape Cod Baseball League has to go 5 innings. This one now in the 6th. So whenever they call it, that's the final.
And Brewster already does have 1 tie this year, I believe. So those are tough for the fans because you come to see your team win, of course, and you'd like to see a winner in the game. But
hey, talk to the Gatemen fans. Last year there were 4 ties.
But you also don't want to see these games go on for 15 innings, as I don't think any of these fans would be staying for 15 innings.
Tanner Dodson takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. He's walked twice today. Believe the longest game I experienced last summer was 11, if I remember correctly.
So no ties from the maximum game length, correct, which is 12?
Don't believe so. 0-1. This one sent foul down the left field line and out of play. I'm being corrected. It was a 12-inning game.
Did it end in a tie?
It did end in a tie.
Okay.
Statistician, beat writer, sideline reporter Matt Feld correcting me.
Got every job.
0-2 pitch is called strike 3. Dodson caught looking to end the inning. So the Gatemen go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. Game still tied up at 2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And now we're going to send it over to Matt Weasel there for a Cape League update. Matt.
Thanks, Jacob. Well, it's been an exciting day in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Let's head to the first game of the day, where it started also 5 o'clock between Cotuit and YD. YD in the 4th and 5th inning scored 2 runs apiece to get up to 5 runs. Cotuit looking to respond right now. 1 run in the top of the 6th, and runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Head to the 6 o'clock games. Harwich and Bourne tied at nothing apiece in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 hits for both sides, and also, interestingly enough, I believe, or unless it changed very recently, just changed. Both teams both had 2 strikeouts. Now the Harwich has 4 strikeouts from their pitcher and Bourne 3. And the other 6 o'clock game is between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth currently up 2-1, 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, thanks to a beautiful home run from Mikey Bikina, the solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 2nd. So great day here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. One more game on slate. Chatham and Orleans starting at 7. Back to you, Jacob.
Man, do I love those highlights from Matt Weasel there. Thank you, Matt. It's a 2-2 ball game.
I'll be taking my job.
All of our jobs. 2-2 here at Stony Brook Field in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. It'll be Nick Dunn, Michael Curry, and Chandler Taylor to face Peyton Culbertson here for his 3rd inning of work. He's looked pretty good. His first pitch to Nick Dunn popped up and sent way foul.
I hate to correct you, but it's his 4th inning of work.
Excuse me.
And he has looked very good. Got into a little bit of trouble in the last inning with that leadoff double and got in that sac bunt, but that strikeout looking on Kyle Daughtris in the 5th was huge for Culbertson to get that 2nd out, as Michael Gasper flew out to left to end that 5th inning, getting Wareham out of that jam.
Culbertson's 0-1. Just a bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
But he looks so much better than he did in the home opener against Falmouth, after he gave up all 3 of the runs that Falmouth scored in that game. Of course, Wareham won that 4-3.
1-1 sent out to right field. Going over, ranging to his left is Bonfield. That's going to hit the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Dunn. And it'll be a stand-up double for the leadoff hitter, Nick Dunn. You can hear some fans going 3, but he wasn't going to the 3rd base.
Bonfield does a nice job getting over to that ball and firing it in as soon as possible.
Michael Curry.
Dunn this past season at Maryland, 261, 5 homers, 32 RBIs, 729 OPS. Now Michael Curry, the DH, will step in. Again, no relation to Steph Curry.
I mean, if that was the case, we'd probably be seeing him over on this little basketball court next door.
Culbertson looks on with a runner at second base. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. You mentioned basketball and the Brewster Whitecaps. There was actually a video going around on the rainout last Friday with the Whitecaps pitching staff having a dunk contest at their basketball court, which is about 100 yards behind us. They were all dunking as if they were NBA players. 0-1 in for a strike.
That was a rough call on the low part of the plate on Curry. That was a low pitch, and the hitter did not like it. And going back to that, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks pitching staff would probably be very good at a dunk contest. They are all towers out there in Hyannis. A lot of 6'5" and above pitchers for that team.
A lot of these guys were multi-sport athletes at their high schools. The 0-2 is sent out to left field, falling fast in for a base hit, rounding third, and heading home is going to be Nick Dunn. To second base goes Curry. An RBI double gives the Brewster Whitecaps a 3-2 lead.
That's tough for Peyton Culbertson, who came in here and did a nice job in his first 3 innings of work, but unable to repeat here in the 4th inning of his work, and you might be seeing a pitching change coming soon from Coach Nedden, as we've seen him not really allow pitchers to go longer than 3 or 4 innings. So it's honestly surprising that he's come this far in his 4th inning of work.
Here comes the Alabama product, Chandler Taylor. He struck out to start off the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Runner at second base is Curry. Culbertson looks him back. And the first pitch to Taylor outside for a ball, 1-0. You're talking about Alabama off the air. They did not have a successful baseball season.
Now, Alabama was one of the worst teams in the SEC this year, and they usually are one of the top in the SEC. The SEC is so crowded and so good that it's so hard to be successful with, especially in the West, with so many good teams like LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Arkansas was good this year, and A&M as well. So a really tough season for Alabama out there.
Pitch is chopped down the first baseline, foul, right into the hand of head coach Don Snedden. So the count 1-1 in this 2-2 ball game between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps. Yeah, Taylor for Alabama this season, 281, 15 homers, 33 RBIs, 15 jacks for Alabama.
Pretty impressive all season for Bama, the Crimson Tide, out in Tuscaloosa.
Taylor, a 2017 All-SEC second-team outfielder.
But the big rival Auburn got the better of them this season.
1-1, low, 2-1. And Taylor was an All-SEC freshman team back in 2016. Of course, he had 2 home runs yesterday.
First.
Runner at second base is Curry with no outs in the inning. Culbertson makes Taylor swing and miss on a breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big breaking ball there from Culbertson, getting Taylor way out in front. Taylor was on a knee after that big cut, the lefty on the righty.
So the situation, Michael Curry, an RBI double, drove in Nick Dunn. He's at second base with no outs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Chandler Taylor at the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Culbertson looking back, the runner at second. Does it twice. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Taylor goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight.
And that was a drop third strike, but Taylor started walking back to the dugout, so MacGyver chased him towards the Brewster dugout to get that tag on, and the umpire finally called him out.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. So again, business to the law firm today.
Out in New Bedford, Mass. And a big strikeout once again for Culbertson, trying to work himself out of a runner in scoring position, nobody out situation. Gets that first big out there.
Here comes Costas, Marty Costas, with 1 out. Blocked by MacGyver. That ball was in the dirt. Nicely done. Or Curry was going to advance to third.
With each run in this game especially being so important, I'm actually surprised that we didn't see a guy like Chandler Taylor only hitting .214 coming into today. Maybe lay down a bunt, try to get that runner over, and then get him home from there, but making this a 4-2 game for Brewster would be so huge for them. That's a huge difference between 4-2 and 3-2 in a game like this.
1-0 to Costas. Pops in for a strike, 1-1.
And Culbertson's breaking ball has really been solid through these first 3 1/3 innings of work. But just a few times that breaking ball has been taken for 3 doubles against Culbertson, 1 back in the 5th and 2 here in the 6th.
Runner at second is Curry. Pitch runs inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Marty Costas. Struck out looking to end the first and lined out to Luke Bonfield in right for the second out of the 4th inning.
This is a guy who'd like to get a big hit, get another RBI here. Only has that 1 home run as his lone hit so far this season. Coming into this at bat, 1 for 9.
2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out and a 3-2 lead for the Whitecaps. That one into center field for a base hit. Coming around from third is Curry. And an RBI single for Costas makes this a 4-2 ball game in favor of Brewster.
And that's exactly what Costas was looking for, to get that second hit of the season and for it to be an RBI. Now Costas with 2 hits has 2 RBIs this year. So it's not always coming for him, but it's been timely for the right fielder today and this season.
And we're going to get a pitching change, so Culbertson's night is done. He lets up 2 runs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Brewster takes a 4-2 lead. We'll be right back as you're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. A pitching change here in Brewster. As Peyton Culbertson's night is done, he goes 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks, and now it's Blakely Brown's turn to get out of this jam. Wareham trails it 4-2.
Yeah, and Blakely Brown coming in. This is his 2nd appearance of the season. His first was a start. And had a rough season at Georgia, who also struggled in the SEC this year, going 11-19 in conference, 25-32 overall. As we saw a lot of these SEC teams make the NCAA tournament this year. Such a stacked conference.
It'll be Cesar Trejo to face Brown.
But his fastball goes up to 93-94. Good movement on his slider. And a good strikeout to walk ratio of about 2-1 for Blakely Brown, who had a 1.38 walks hits per innings pitched ratio this season.
Pitch low again, 2 balls and no strikes. We saw him versus Chatham in that start. What'd you see out of that?
He he was okay. You know, he just got off to a really terrible start in the first inning, and that kind of threw him off. But he recovered pretty well in his next few innings. But that first inning, he gave up 3 runs, and it's so hard as a pitcher. We saw it from Gatemen today to recover after you get off to a bad start.
A big swing and a miss from Trejo. 2 balls and 1 strike.
But that Chatham lineup was just on fire. Nick Patton, especially out of Delaware, we saw him that day. Had 5 RBIs in that doubleheader for Chatham in that sweep over Wareham on Sunday.
Two-1 is absolutely jacked deep to left field. See you later. Cesar Trejo, a 2-run shot out to deep left center field. 2 more runs on the board. 6-2 Brewster.
Yeah, that was a jack. There was no doubt about it, and you seem to agree with me on that based on your call. And he just destroyed that one, Cesar Trejo, and that's got to be really tough for Blakely Brown to come into this game and to give up that 2-run homer on one of the first pitches you throw.
Here's center fielder Hunter Bishop.
Wow, that one you knew it if you heard it, or if you're here right now in the ballpark, you heard it. Cesar Trejo, a 2-run shot. So one of those runs will go to Peyton Culbertson, the other to Blakely Brown. And a first pitch ball thrown to Hunter Bishop. He doubled his last time up back in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Culbertson now 3 earned runs today. Also gave up 3 earned runs in his first outing.
1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
So he's still looking for that good outing. I mean, he had 3 solid innings today, just a tough 4th.
2-0, popped up to left field. Coming in is Topa. And he makes the catch. Falling down was the shortstop Baird. He went out there as well. He falls down, but Topa makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
Here we go, top of the batting order for your Brewster.
And now the top of the order
he wears number 6
in A.J. Graffinino.
From the University of Washington, one of the Huskies, here is A.J. Graffinino.
A very enthusiastic call from the PA announcer on A.J. Graffinino there.
Hey. Guy's been around a long time, 25-plus years as the PA announcer. One of the best we have here on the Cape. Time called at the plate from Graffinino. Had a sac fly his last time up in the 5th. First pitch strike thrown to Graffinino, 0-1.
Graffinino's had a pretty productive day. Reached on an error back in the 1st. Doubled in the 2nd, and then that sacrifice bunt back in the 5th, as you said.
0-1, set on the ground to Durant at second base. Throws to first, and that will retire the side, but not before a 4-run inning. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and no man left on. It is now a 6-2 lead for the Brewster Whitecaps over the Wareham Gatemen. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Baseball Gatemen Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18. Including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
6-2 lead for the Brewster Whitecaps over the Wareham Gatemen. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. Pitching change here for the Whitecaps. Andrew Pagnozzi's night is done. 1 2/3 innings pitched. No hits, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Will Tribuker is now into the ball game.
He's here to face Ben Baird, who's still looking for that breakout hit this year. Tribuker coming out of Michigan.
Tribuker on the year. His ERA 2.25. Ball 1 thrown to Baird. He's made 4 appearances, or rather 4 innings, excuse me. He's thrown 4 innings.
Look for that lefty's fastball to get up to 93, cutter up to 82, 85.
That one fouled off behind us and behind the Wareham dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Thank you.
What'd you lose your stat sheet
there?
Yeah,
I lost my stat sheet, and this nice kid behind me went to pick it up for me because I couldn't get up in the middle of this broadcast. Such nice fans here in the Cape always.
On the Cape.
On the Cape.
1-1 rocketed past the Wareham dugout foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Baird.
The Cape native himself always correcting me on that one.
I have to.
I'll probably never get it, honestly, because anywhere else it's in, really, if you think about it.
It's just how it is. I was just taught that way. That's how we say it. 1-2 the count to Ben Baird, the shortstop. Here it comes. That is grounded right back to the pitcher. Tribuker throws on a first and retires Baird for the first out.
You haven't seen much of Michigan here on the Cape League this year. But now we have a Wolverine pitcher on the mound facing a West Coast
Here we go, top of the batting order, wearing number 10.
guy, and Jaron Duran, a California native.
Well, last year Wareham had Jonathan Engelman, who was out of Michigan. If you're talking Michigan guys, Jaron Duran, as you say, he's out of the beach.
The beach.
Long Beach State. He fouls this one off, 0-1.
One of the best names of a baseball team, the Long Beach State Dirtbags. And that is contradictory to the rest of their team names, which is the 49ers, like the San Francisco 49ers. So interesting that they decided to rename the baseball team the Dirtbags. In the guys in gold and black.
0-1 pitch to Durant, bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Durant singled and scored back in the 5th inning. But the Gatemen find themselves down 6-2 with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
And I mentioned Duran yesterday as this pitch is going to come in.
1-1, bounces again to the backstop, 2-1.
I mentioned that he's wearing his Long Beach State helmet because he has that jaw protector around his right cheek. Wonder if he may have had a face injury at some point in his career this year. So
we'll have to ask him on that. He just got here a couple days ago.
He did, and he is wearing a Long Beach State helmet still.
2-1, up high, 3-1. Think he'll keep wearing? Well, you know what? It's probably because of the protector.
Absolutely, I think he needs
I don't know if any Wareham helmets have the protector. Blake Sable waiting on deck for the Gatemen with 1 out as they trail it 6-2 at the top of the 7th here at Stony Brook Field. This one sent to the shortstop, Graffinino. 2-hop, throw on to first, and retires as Speedy Duran for out number 2.
Yeah, we saw Duran beat out a pretty similar ground ball yesterday to that same spot. Just hit that one a little bit too hard. Maybe his approach should be to try to hit the ball as softly as possible on the ground so that he can beat out those ground balls to first base.
So 2 outs, Blake Sable. Sac fly is last time up back in the 5th. Left-handed Southern Cal product stepping in now. And first pitch swings onto the shortstop again. Graffinino, throw down to first. And in time, that'll end the inning. So the Gatemen go 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. We are off to the 7th inning stretch, sponsored by Eastern Propane and Oil. Proud to sponsor the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. That's the home of the Brewster Whitecaps since 2006.
Not Stony Brook University in Long Island.
Hey, it's a good basketball program over there.
Yes, for sure. One of the best in the American East Conference, along with always much better than the University of Hartford's basketball team.
6-2 the score. Brewster over Wareham. Blakely Brown on for his second inning of work. And he's facing Kyle DeTross. He pitched a ball 1-0. Blakely Brown came in. First batter he sees, lets up a 2-run jack to Cesar Trejo. This one is nubbed down the third base line, and they're going to let it try to go foul. It's staying fair at the moment, and it's going to stay fair. They go back to first because DeTross, wasn't even on the bag, but that one will stay fair.
I'm 100% positive that that ball was foul off of DeTross's foot. I saw it hit him, but I guess the umpire did not see it.
He wears number 9 for your Brewster Whitecaps.
I swear, I really think it did. I really think it hit his foot, and they missed it. But maybe I'm just seeing things here.
Well, we have a pretty good angle. We're on the first baseline, angled behind home plate.
Probably the best angle possible for that play, but umpire does not give the call.
Mickey Gasper, the catcher, takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. So DeTross finds himself on first base. Robbie Metzen, Blakely Brown, the pitcher, went to let that one roll foul. That one gets risky sometimes because it could end up staying fair, and that one, it did.
Well, with the speed of Daughtris right there, I don't think they were going to catch him on that little slow roller anyway. Didn't hurt.
Pitch up and away, 1-1. Thank you for listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. Beautiful night for a ball game.
We had one last night in Hyannis as well.
Runner goes. The 1-1 is swung on down the first baseline. This one, they will not let roll foul. They're throwing to first, and in time, they now try to double up at third. The throw not in time. Going from first to third is DeTross. That one was close. Sable didn't even have a second thought. He was going to third all the way. But DeTross is safe at third, but the Gatemen do get first out.
Wow, heads-up play by Daughtris there, going from first to third. Got to second and didn't hesitate. I bet his third base coach was telling him, come, and he just rounded the bag straight to third, never stopped. Heads-up play there by the third baseman.
Was that the right play for Sable to throw over to first? Because if that throw was errant, the run scores.
I'm not sure on that one. You just stumped me.
Nick Dunn, the second baseman, steps in with a runner 90 feet away and takes ball 1-0.
But either way, some more trouble for Blakely Brown here after he struggled in his appearance against Chatham on Sunday.
Robert Broom warming in the bullpen for Brewster, the side thrower. 1-1 now the count to Nick Dunn.
Yes, the submarine pitcher.
Yeah.
Robert Broom.
Blakely Brown's 1-1. Just a bit inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. He's not going out of the stretch.
We saw the.
Oh, now he is.
We saw. Maybe he forgot. We saw the funky delivery of the starter of Brewster, McDermott.
2-1, sent way foul down the third baseline, out of play into the trees. Past those seats up there that I was telling you about earlier.
And now another potential funky delivery coming from Broom. A Mercer College product down in Georgia.
6-2 game. And swung on and missed. Dunn strikes out for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone.
That's a big strikeout for Brown with that runner on third.
So 2 gone. Dunn goes down. That'll bring up Michael Curry, the DH.
Number 11, the DH.
DeTross still at third,
Georgia,
but now 2
Michael
outs.
Curry.
And Brewster leading this one 6-2. Pitch outside, 1-0. DeTross led off the inning with a single. Gasper grounds out, and Dunn strikes out. Now this one rocketed into left field past Robbie Metz at third, in for a base hit. Coming home to score is DeTross. Add 1 more run, it's now 7-2 in favor of the Whitecaps. Blakely Brown having some issues here in his second outing for the Gatemen.
46 from Alabama. One of the
Yeah, Brown has now given up 3 earned runs in this game. He got that 2-run shot was pounded to center field. And now 2 hits in this inning, now facing a fellow SEC foe.
Chandler Taylor takes a breaking ball low, 1-0.
Of course, though, Georgia and Alabama, the line, the Chattahoochee River, is the dividing point between SEC East and SEC West, except for Missouri. Missouri is in the East, even though it is west of the Chattahoochee. Kind of weird, but they came in late.
This one taken for a ball. 2-0. Man, your geography is on point.
Actually, I believe one of these Whitecaps grew up right on the Chattahoochee River. That is, I'm on the wrong side.
2-0 from Brown, swung on a miss from Chandler, 2-1.
That is the right-handed pitcher out of Georgia, teammate of Blakely Brown, Tony Losey, number 40, is from Columbus, Georgia, which is right on the Chattahoochee River, dividing Alabama and Georgia.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in a 7-2 ball game, and time called. Two balls and 1 strike. Now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Brown has just not had the command now behind in the count 3-1 on a very dangerous Chandler Taylor.
He has struck out twice today in this game, 1 for 3. Here comes Brown's pitch, and he rockets this one to right field. Kiss it goodbye. A 2-run jack for Chandler Taylor. His 3rd home run in 2 games. Add 2 more runs. 9-2 Brewster.
And I just mentioned how dangerous Chandler Taylor was. He is. I didn't know he was that dangerous. I didn't think he could jack that one that far, but that's a 2nd long ball on Blakely Brown today. And here comes the pitching change coming from Don Snedden.
A pitching change here. Don Snedden will make the change. Actually, it's Jim Lawler coming out to make the change. Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. So Blakely Brown's night is done, and the Gatemen now trail it 9-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Blakely Brown's night is done. 1 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 1 K. Noah Zavalis now out on the mound to face Marty Costas.
Blakely Brown 4 earned runs, I believe, off of him.
Blakely Brown 4 earned runs. You're correct.
He got
point streak was wrong.
He got pounded. 2 jacks, 1 to center, 1 to right off Brown.
First pitch strike thrown to Marty Costas, the right fielder.
Zavalis out of Harvard coming in. We haven't seen him in a while. I'm looking through for his last appearance.
2 outs in the inning. In a 9-2 ball game. That one picked up by the catcher McIver in the dirt, 1-1.
Haven't seen Zavalis since the first game of the season for Wareham. And he came in through 2 innings, only gave up 1 hit, struck out 1 batter. No earned runs on Zavalis in that game against Hyannis.
1-1 is nicked down the third baseline foul, 1-2. He was one of the bright spots in that 3-0 loss to the Harbor Hawks.
And the pitching staff in that game was pretty solid overall, except for the opening day starter Mason Fioli, who faced his troubles, but the hitting just couldn't get it going in that opener out at McKeon Park, where we just were yesterday.
Noah Zavalis at a Harvard.
8-6 this year at Harvard. 5.95 ERA.
1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He can play better baseball than you, and he is smarter than you, the Harvard product.
Probably. Well, we're going to assume that.
I wasn't talking directly to you. I meant the general. Smarter than anyone as he goes to Harvard.
I'm going to go ahead and say probably on me.
2-2 pitch is chopped to the shortstop. Baird has trouble with it. Couldn't get it in the glove. That'll be an E6. Costas reaching there with 2 outs.
That's tough for Noah Zavalis just coming into this game. Doesn't get the help he needs from his defense in the infield. And now his first runner's on base. Still has 2 outs, though, in the inning.
Baird usually very, very good over there at shortstop.
Absolutely. One thing about Zavalis, though, at Harvard, an opposing batting average of .346 at Harvard, which could be a lot lower. You'd like to see that a lot lower.
Cesar Trejo blasted a 2-run home run to left center field his last time up. No doubter there.
And that last one from Chandler Taylor was also a no-doubter completely. You could just hear it off the bat.
Check over first base, and Costas is safe. They now score that a hit. It was not an error on Ben Baird at short.
Guess they called it a tough bounce and giving Barrett the benefit of the doubt. That'll help his stats, his fielding percentage.
First pitch to Trejo. Low for a ball, 1-0.
You might be able to give me a geography lesson on where Zavalis is from. Acton, Massachusetts.
Western Mass.
Western?
Believe so. That could be wrong. And I'm getting a no that it's wrong. That one line past Barrett at short, in for a base hit. 20 minutes from Boston? Acton?
North Shore?
North Shore? Come on. Where is it? I don't know. First and second for the Brewster Whitecaps with 2 outs.
Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Oh, it's okay. It is north of Boston. Acton, Mass. Hey, all I know is Harvard's in Boston. That's it. That's where he goes to school.
Pinch hitter, ladies and gentlemen, wearing number 27 from Kansas, one of the JR.
Be Hunter Bishop.
Devin Foyle.
And now a pinch hitter for the Brewster Whitecaps. Be Devin Foyle. So Foyle's got runners at first and second with 2 outs.
One of my favorite hometowns coming up after this pitch.
Foyle will face Zavalis. And first pitch swinging and missing, 0-1.
Fountain Hills, Arizona. Not sure where that is, but it's still a great name for a town.
Foyle on the season, .250 average. No homers, no runs batted in, 1 walk, 2 Ks.
This is tough for Zavalis. Just gave up those first 2 hits. Would have liked to have some help from Barrett at short, but it was a tough play.
This one fouled off to the screen. 0-2.
Foyle coming into today hitting .250 on the season. 3 for 12 with 4 runs scored.
He's got runners at first and second with 2 outs in this 9-2 ball game. Wareham trailing it by 7. Zavalis' pitch. Breaking ball missing, 1-2. Three runs in this bottom of the 7th inning for the Whitecaps. 2-run homer from Chandler Taylor. RBI single from Michael Curry. That's where we are right now in the ball game. 15 hits for Brewster, just 4 for the Gatemen. And that one will be called strike 3. Zavalis strikes out the pinch hitter Devin Foyle. And that'll end the inning. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. So 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 2 men left on. Brewster up 9-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
9-2 lead for the Brewster Whitecaps over the Wareham Gatemen. Want to first shout out my Sturgis Charter Public School crew that's here tonight, coming out to see me. Thanks very much, guys. You can leave now if you want. A 9-2 lead for the Whitecaps over the Wareham Gatemen. New pitcher, and it's Robert Broom.
Broom coming from Mercer in Georgia. In 2017, went 8-2 with a 2.02 ERA. Impressive stuff out in the Southern Conference. 31 appearances. This one's fouled away. Also had an opposing batting average of 195. Anytime you can get that opposing batting average below 220, especially down below 200. Very impressive stuff from Broom, the submarine guy out there from Rising Fawn, Georgia.
0-1 becomes 1-1, or now called strike. 0-2 to Willie McIver, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out looking twice and walked and stole a base back in the 5th.
This has been one of Willie McIver's least impressive games so far this season. He's just been so good that this has been a disappointment.
0-2, swinging in, lacing this one into left field for a base hit. He was out in front, but he got the bat head on it. He leads it off with a single. He gets a hit.
So that gives the Gatemen lineup some confidence now that they know that they can hit this submarine guy. Willie McIver gets on for his second time today. Now Luke Bonfield trying to repeat
out of Arkansas, Luke Bonfield.
With that, he had that RBI back in the 5th.
So now Luke Bonfield, sac fly his last time up, struck out to end the 1st, and then walked and came around to score in the 4th. And he's got McIver, who has wheels at first, and a big cut and miss from Bonfield, 0-1. McIver has 6 stolen bases on the year. That leads the Gatemen. Pitch outside, 1-1.
You saw the power that Bonfield possesses yesterday. Jacked one out to left field in the Hyannis game. A 3-run shot that was. I believe that was the final of 3 home runs yesterday against Hyannis.
Swing and a miss there from Bonfield, 1-2. McIver now leads the Cape League in stolen bases.
Wow. And some impressive velocity from this submarine pitcher on that fastball, Robert Broom. That one blew by Bonfield, that fastball.
1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. An off-speed pitch fooled Bonfield. He goes down swinging for the first out of the 8th.
Yeah, he was way out in front after that fastball blew by him. He was eager to take another one, but the breaking ball got him.
Wearing number 14 from UConn.
John Topa is up, and every time he stepped in the batter's box tonight, he has blocked my vision of the pitcher on the mound.
In the on-deck circle?
In the on-deck circle. Topa 1 for 3 today. Takes a strike.
Correction, John Topa.
The PA announcer just mispronounced Topa's name a little bit, and he was not happy, to say the least.
We'll have to talk to him after the game. The 0-1, up and in, 1-1. It's Topa.
It's a tough one. It looks like Topa when you
It
read
is.
it, but
It's double P. T-O-P-P-A. Runner on first is McIver. 1 out in the inning and a 9-2 lead for the Whitecaps. This one chipped to the third baseman, and he can't have a play. So it's going to be first and second now. DeTras couldn't do anything with the baseball. Topa was too fast.
Well, the Gatemen need a lot of runs here. They're down by 7 here in the top half of the 8th inning, and
from Florida's Nova Southeastern.
they need as many base runners as they can possibly compile here. Maybe a little bit of double steal action, and down by 7. Why not?
Why not?
Both guys do have speed, especially McIver down there at second. He is the guy that the catcher would try to catch over at third in that case of a double steal.
Jake Anchia up. He's 0 for 3 on the evening. Takes a pitch outside, 1-0.
And she is popped out twice, but that first pop out was, of course, a bunt into the catcher's glove.
A big swing and a miss.
Kind of a weird delivery from these submarine pitchers. It's tough because it kind of looks like the ball rises a little bit as opposed to coming down into the catcher's glove. It doesn't do that as much out of a submarine pitcher's hand. It kind of comes up quite a bit, which can be very difficult for a hitter that's used to facing. Wow.
1-2.
That breaking ball was nasty and just
fooled.
It fooled Anchia, and now he's behind on the count.
He was frozen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 9-2 game. Wareham trailing by 7. John Topa at first base. Broom looks back, the runner at second, and fouling this one off is Anchia. Again, 15 hits tonight for the Whitecaps, only 4 for the Gatemen. That is where the game has differed.
Yeah, and the pitching today, usually this season the story has been the Gatemen not getting the run support for their pitchers in low-scoring games. Now it's a combination of both. They're not scoring, and the pitching staff today wasn't at their sharpest.
1-2 onto the second baseman. They'll flip to second for 1 to first. Double play, 4-6-3. Ends the inning. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, no men left on for the Wareham Gatemen. They still trail it 9-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gatemen. Mark the date on your calendar, Saturday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support our Wareham Gatemen.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Wareham trailing by 7, 9-2. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman. Noah Zavalis' night is done. He goes a third of an inning, 2 hits, no earned, no walks, 1 K. And it's Fitz Stadler's turn out of Arizona State.
Big guy, Fitz Stadler, coming in, and a pinch hitter as well for the Whitecaps.
Connor Smith pinch hitting for the leadoff hitter, A.J. Graffinino.
Surprising, considering Graffinino has had a pretty solid night. The big Fitz Stadler, the big righty in.
First pitch swinging is Smith, sends it out to right field, falls for a base hit right in front of Bonfield. So first pitch swinging was Smith, and he gets on base.
Another pinch hitter.
Be another pinch hitter.
They're really making me work here with the scorebook here. It is
Christian Malfetta.
Yes, Christian Malfetta from Stanford. hitting .250 so far this season. After that leadoff double, has to rattle Fitz Sadler a little bit after he's seen the rest of his pitching staff kind of get pounded here today.
So Christian Malfetta, now the batter facing Stadler, takes a ball, 1-0. So runner on first base is Connor Smith, the Western Michigan product. Malfetta out of Stanford, like you just said. Stadler out of Arizona State on the mound. They check the runner at first. He's back safely. So Stadler on the hill for the Gatemen. Saw him on the 18th of June at Chatham. Got the start, only went 2 innings. Let up 4 earned runs. His 1-0 low, 2-0. Score update from Matt Weasel there. Matt?
Game over between Yarmouth Dennis and Cotuit. Yarmouth Dennis getting the 5-3 win. Riley McCauley on for the interesting 1-out save to get the win.
1-out saves. Gotta like to see those. 2-0 pitch is into right field, falling fast in foul territory. Yes, it goes foul. The count now 2-1. Thank you, Matt, for the score update.
This is an inning that Sadler just wants to come out here and kind of get his pitches in, kind of make sure his command is there, and kind of work towards his next appearance, with this game being a 7-run game, and he already gave up a leadoff single, so now the big righty has to try to work himself out of this with limited damage.
Two 2-1 to Malfetta, framed nicely by McIver, in for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sadler struggled quite a bit in his first appearance as well. He gave up 4 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Walked the batter, struck out 2.
Smith, the runner at first base, no outs in the 7-run ball game. 2-2 pitch, bounces to the plate. To second base goes Smith. The throw down there is not in time. And Smith goes to second base. And now Malfetta's got a runner in scoring position with a 3-2 count and no outs in the bottom of the 8th.
That last start for Sadler was a start. He got the loss in a 6-1 loss to Chatham on Sunday. That was the second game of that doubleheader. He was followed up by Tanner Dotson, who played center field today. We know that he can do both.
Stadler looks back, the runner at second base. His 3-2 pitch is lined to the shortstop. Baird grabs it with 2 hands, throws to first base in time. That's the first out of the inning. Runner Smith advances to third. So runner now 90 feet away, would be the 10th run of the day for Brewster. They lead at 9-2. They've got 16 hits just to Wareham's 4. Mickey Gasper now at the plate. He's 1 for 4 today. Doubled and scored back in the first. Flew out in the third, flew out in the 5th. Grounded back to the pitcher in the 7th. Stadler gets a sign, delivers the first pitch. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Stadler hails from Arizona State, which some of our broadcasters from last summer were Arizona State products.
That's the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism out there.
Yes, very good school. Jake Garcia, Andre Sims. Wish you guys well. The 1-0 in for a strike, 1-1. So Smith hit a pinch hit, single, stole a base, and now is at third. Stadler's 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. If I seem a little nervous, it's because I am. The Celtics have the 3rd overall pick in the NBA draft. I'm on my toes a little bit.
Michael Gasper is he's really hit well this year. He was .412 coming into today, had that Big double back in the first inning.
2-1. In for a strike, and now the count evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This will be a big strikeout for Fitz Stadler, if he can get it. You saw that breaking ball right there. We'll see what he goes to here. You have to wonder what Gasper is thinking he might receive here from Fitz Stadler. It could be a breaking ball. It could be a fastball.
I would assume breaking ball.
You think so? You think that's his go-to here on 2-2? Well, we'll see.
We are going to see with a runner 90 feet away. 2-2 pitch to second base. Duran looks back, the runner at third, throws to first. Nicely done. 2 gone. Is that a fastball?
It was either that or a changeup. It was not a breaking ball.
I was wrong. I'm usually wrong.
But always tough to tell that 10-mile-an-hour difference between the fastball and the changeup.
That's why we need a consistent radar gun on our table so we know.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be a great investment.
What do radar guns run at?
Don't know. What do radar guns run at these days? The price?
Wearing number 39, folks, from Maryland. Second base.
Maybe $100.
Nick Dunn.
Who knows what Matt Bell was just trying to tell us, honestly.
Nick Dunn takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Now he says $1,000.
Oh, okay. Well, we split that among the 6
which
of
is
us.
different than 100. Nick Dunn's got a runner 90 feet away. His Brewster Whitecaps up 9-2. Getting correction, $300 on a radar gun. 1-0 up and away, 2-0.
Matt Feld only buys the best radar guns, though, so that's why he was saying 1,000. The luxury radar guns.
Matt Feld, the best beat writer on the Cape. Read him at gatemen.org. And here he comes. He wants to come on the broadcast for one moment. Takes a strike. Does Dunn. 2-2.
Nick Dunn has 2 hits today. Also came around to score.
Sir, what would you like to say?
6th inning.
Now, former Wareham Gatemen baseball ops man, Scott, who worked for us last year, I don't know his last name, is now with the Oakland A's. He was telling me the other day that his radar gun is worth $2,000.
Okay,
wow.
So there's a big range of radar guns. That's 2-1 sent to Duran at second base. 2-step hop throw to first in time. And they retire the side. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left on. We're heading to the 9th. Can the Gatemen rally back? They're down 9-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
All-Star Game weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Varitek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
To the 9th we go, and the Gatemen down by 7, 9-2. Jacob Toby alongside Sam Corman.
Robbie Metz.
And Robbie Metz will lead it off. It's Metz, Dodson, and Baird.
If the Gatemen want to mount a rally here, they're going to need to get at least the first man on base here.
First pitch taken for a ball, 1-0 by Metz.
Metz had that big RBI back in the 4th inning to kind of
1-0 in for a strike, 1-1.
Kind of pick up his slump that started this season. He was an all-star here last year, and he started off this year 2 for 21 before that single.
Pitch up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Make sure to keep up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and SoundCloud. 2-1, sent to the first baseman off his glove, off Taylor's glove. Metz rounding first, heading for second, using his speed to get the 2-bagger. And he's got a leadoff double here in the top of the 9th.
Well, that is what they needed, is that leadoff hit, and an even better, an extra base hit for Robbie Metz. But they're going to need 7 runs here, at least, to continue this game, and it's going to take quite a rally here. So we don't see the Gatemen dugout turning their hats inside out quite yet, but
Tanner Dodson at the plate, takes a ball low, 1-0.
Dodson's had himself a decent day today with 2 walks. Only 0 for 1 with that strikeout looking back in the 6th. And I'm sure he'd like to end this day with a hit, even though he's been on base twice.
Dodson fouls it off.
Well, he fouled that off into the little lair up there.
It's a lair.
One lucky fan up there.
There's about 4 or 5 seats people can sit up there, right? Down the third base line, past the Brewster dugout, up in the trees. There's a little spot. You can see all the field.
A hidden gem here in the Cape League.
Seats matter here on the Cape. People get here 3 hours early and chain their seats to the fences so that they get a good seat. The 1-1 pitch inside, 2-1.
Why wouldn't you? With the how good the competition is, you want to be as close as possible to these guys.
Hey, Aaron Judge played for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Absolutely. I was talking to the PA announcer before this game. Apparently Aaron Judge, his 1 homer here in Brewster, went over that scoreboard out in left center.
Dodson fouls it off.
And it was apparently he wasn't, the biggest power hitter out there until he got into the Yankees organization. And when he got to Scranton, the coaching staff there changed his swing quite a bit. And now here he is in the majors looking for a triple crown in his first
Triple
full
crown,
season.
Rookie of the Year. Hey, why not MVP at this rate?
He was also telling me how just humble and how gracious of a player he is. Never cocky or anything like that. Just
2-2, swung on and missed. Dodson goes down swinging for the first down of the 9th.
A nasty changeup from Broom there. That submarine pitch, it's pretty tough to read for these hitters. Not really used to it, and Dodson with his second strikeout.
So Dodson strikes out for the second time today. Ben Baird now at the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. He's got a runner at second base and Robbie Metz, who led off the inning with a double. Pitch outside, 1-0.
He was also, PA announcer was also telling me something that I wasn't aware of, is how many managers in the MLB have played here in the Cape League. He was telling me how Joe Girardi played for Katuitt, which I did not know.
John Farrell played on the Cape, the Red Sox manager.
I forget what team.
This one's sent to the first baseman, Chandler Taylor. Throws to the pitcher, and in time, it was close. Broom just stepped on the bag in time to retire Baird for the second out of the inning. Tough to see there from the angle, but Baird indeed retired. So 2 outs now. Jaron Duran, the last hitter for the Gatemen, the last out rather.
I thought he was safe at first, but
now at the plate, ladies and
the umpire might want to get out of here in a 7-run game.
Lockridge.
Oh, well, Brandon Lockridge is pinch hitting here.
So Lockridge comes in for Duran. Runner at third and Robbie Metz now. Well, with 1 out and that one outside, 1-0.
Lockridge out of Troy University down there in South Alabama. A big rivalry with the South Alabama Jaguars for the Troy Trojans. 39 RBIs this year, 6 home runs for Troy.
Fouled off. And now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Also, you mentioned the OPS stat a few times, an 894 OPS for Brandon Lockridge at Troy. That's on base plus slugging percentage. So if you add the two together, that's what you come up with.
(1-1) to Lockridge outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Talking to Lockridge yesterday before the Hyannis game, he got the day off. Matt Feld was asking him if it was much needed. He said, yeah, I've been playing every day. I've been tired. It's nice to get a day off here and there. Got the rain out. Didn't get that day off.
But of course, here on the Cape, you're trying to showcase your skills as much as possible.
Swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the Gatemen down to their final strike with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. And Brewster leading it 9-2. So Robbie Metz is the runner at third. 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Brandon Lockridge. Very close, and now the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was bold here last out of the game, deciding not to swing at that pitch. Good layoff, though, from Lockridge. He knew it was outside, and so did the umpire at home plate, Piantadosi.
So Broom, the pitcher, getting his signs from his catcher, Gasper. 2 outs, runner at third, 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Lockridge strikes out. And that will end the ball game. The Brewster Whitecaps score 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. And they win this one 9-2 over the Wareham Gatemen.
Yeah, tough go for the Gatemen today after a pretty impressive performance in Hyannis yesterday. But once again, the bats didn't come alive today, only scoring 2 runs, both in the 4th and 5th inning. But today was the pitching that just did not impress today. Tough start for Justin Hageman out of Penn State. And then the relief pitchers, Culbertson and Brown, got absolutely rocked, especially Blakely Brown, who came in and gave up 2 home runs. So they'll come back, tomorrow, try to improve on what they did good today. We had some small ball in that game in those 4th and 5th innings. That was something we hadn't seen yet this year, and they'll hopefully add that in some closer games as the season moves forward.
Player of the game, who are you thinking?
Oof. Player of the game. This is a tough one because there wasn't an overwhelming performance today for Wareham, but I'll go with Robbie Metz today, coming back from a 2-for-20 start to the season, getting 2 hits, including that double in the 9th. Also had that RBI back in the 4th inning. So Robbie Metz is today's player of the game for Wareham in a day where the pitching just did not show up, and most of the lineup was not there either.
All right, Robbie Metz, the player of the game. You saw Justin Hageman come in, 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. And then Peyton Culbertson came in, 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Blakely Brown, 1 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Noah Zavalis, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Fitz Souther, 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. The Gatemen, they score 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Brewster Whitecaps, they score 9 runs, 16 hits, 1 error, and they win this one by a final score of 9-2. So thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producer of today's broadcast is Nick Veronesi, and Matt Wieselthayer, our sideline reporter, Matt Feld. Today's host, Matthew Wieselthayer. Our next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen return home to take on the Orleans Firebirds. The game starts at 6:30. Our coverage begins on YouTube with the Gatemen Pregame Show at 6 p.m. So for Sam Corman, I'm Jacob Toby. Thanks for tuning into this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.